Naruto, starting the live broadcast to the ninja world. Greetings, fellow multiversal adventurers. It's an honor to have you back in this saga that has us all hooked. Official channel statement: this story is 100% epic fiction, so please don't attempt real magic. The results aren't guaranteed and insurance won't cover it. The rights to this masterpiece belong entirely to its brilliant original author. We are just a barge sharing it with you. Do you want to keep being part of this amazing community? Join our ninja army of subscribers on YouTube and give this content a like. And for true fans who want to support us, our Ko-Fi has exclusive ninjutsu waiting for you. Chapter 326 Original Appearance. Wu Ming lowered his head. I see, but ninjas like you are weak, stupid, lowly, and only know how to talk big, and have no redeeming qualities at all. Facing me, Uchiha Wu Ming, do you think you can win? As he said that, Wu Ming snapped his fingers. The space around me began to change soon. The space turned blue. Huh? Empty space? Sarada was surprised when she saw Boruto returning to his original appearance. Your appearance? Boruto looked at Sarada. The same to you. The nameless voice reached the ears of the three people. Whether it is your virtual appearance or space, I can control everything. Boruto seemed to have noticed something and turned his head to look forward. There, Wu Ming's original appearance appeared before the three people. When the ninja world saw Wu Ming's true appearance, they were in an uproar. Band's brain crash. Hashirama was stunned. He rubbed his eyes and said, "What's wrong with the motor?" Itachi's kaleidoscope presbyopic eyes almost popped out. Sass, Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga clan. Thinking about the previous topic, for some reason, Boruto felt that Wu Ming was more beautiful. Niji, if Boruto couldn't be with Ikari, I feel like the regret would be even greater now than before. Then, Niji fell into deep thought again. How strange, why do I have such a big regret? Hayashi, Uchiha clan land. Although that face looked very much like his own, future Sasuke said without a second thought, no wonder you said that Uchiha Madara in women's clothing was very beautiful. Ninja world good guy, the eyes are like Obito, the hairstyle is like Madara, and the face is like Sasuke, plus Boruto who looks a lot like Naruto. With the story of Naruto and Sasuke as a prelude, I think Boruto and Hikari really look like a good couple. It feels like Hikari is madly poking at the aesthetics of Kakashi-sensei, Hashirama, and Naruto. The look of Hikari gives me a rough idea of what Sasuke in female clothing looks like. Give up resistance, Wu Ming. I want to see what Naruto and Sasuke's child looks like. Please give birth to one to satisfy my curiosity. This is the first time I have impulsive thoughts about Madara. On screen Boruto, nameless, Sarada, the eyes and hair color are the same as mine and my father's, so the Uchiha clan that was resurrected. Boruto, is that you? Mitsuki, even so, it can actually change the entire space in an instant. Wooden put his hands on his waist and looked at the three people in front of him. What's the matter? This kind of thing is easy for me. You are not my opponent at all. Do you still dare to say that you have defeated me? Ninja world. Someone wiped his saliva and said, that's right. Whatever the goddess says is right. Wumi will probably show mercy to Boruto. Right, Boruto can't be that weak. After all, he's Naruto's son. And Mitsuki always gives me a feeling that I can't figure out. On screen Wu Ming looked at Boruto and asked, what's that expression on your face? Boruto, don't help Zero anymore. It's not too late. Wu Ming, telling me to stop? A ninja who lives a leisurely life in the modern world, who is he ordering? Boruto, destroying the ninja world. This is meaningless. It will only make everyone unhappy. I know you are actually a very kind person. You would never do such a bad thing. Wu Ming put down his hands on his waist and said coldly, what do you know about me? How I felt in the past, and how I was treated? You don't understand anything at all. Three Magatama Sharingan appeared in Wu Ming's eye sockets. There are countless things I hate in this world. To me, it's the ninja world. It's the ninja. Whenever I think about this, I get anxious. I can't accept it. I have nowhere to go for my anger. That's why I joined Zero. I want to mess up this ninja world. I hate ninjas the most. All ninjas should die. Mitsuki is ready for battle. This is coming. Boruto yelled, no name. Wu Ming took an attacking stance. Screen turned. The four of them all looked a little embarrassed. The only difference was that three of them were a little out of breath, while Wu Ming had a calm expression, and the scratch on her forehead was healing quickly. Sarada exclaimed, her injury. Mitsuki said solemnly, this space is not good for us. Nameless, hearing Boruto's voice, Wu Ming pursed his lips and lowered his head. She spoke softly, if you were there, at that time. As she said this, her figure slowly disappeared. Boruto reaches out, hey, Ninja World. I was originally thinking that Wuming seemed to only have powerful abilities, but her actual strength was not that strong. But the way she looked made my heart skip a beat, and my attention was distracted. For someone who hates the ninja world so much, he always shows leniency to Boruto. Boruto, I would like to call you in the two Assurant reincarnations the strongest Uchiha magnets, Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga clan. Boruto covered his chest, his heart full of self-blame. Yeah, if I was there at that time, that would be great. Sorry. No name. I'm really sorry for causing you so much pain after becoming friends with me. On screen gathering in the gap, the pyroxene in front of Boruto's eyes dissipated. Sure enough. Just as I thought, that guy is not a bad person. Tonari looked at Boruto's back and said, for Wuming, who was treated cruelly in the past and was not even considered a human being. The hand of friendship you extended seemed to make her very happy. However, she was trapped in the cage of hatred and was entangled and distressed about it. Boruto, I ask again, what do you want to do next? Boruto turned around and looked at Tonari. I want to talk to Wuming again, Sharon asked, even if she might not want to communicate with you. That's right, if you don't take the first step, nothing can start. And she will definitely understand because she is not a bad person, Sharon said. You trust her very much? Because we are friends. Hearing Boruto's words, Tonari chuckled, then go. Oh, Boruto responded, and his figure slowly disappeared. Sharon murmured, so strong. Ninja World Glass has inherited the ability to preach, and will definitely be able to convince Wuming. Too much glass. Damn it, whether you and Naruto can be Madara's elders depends on you. The female dressing Madara is the eternal classic. I will never forget the aggrieved little lolly voice of Madara. Pure Land. Madara sneezed. Who scolded me again? I guessed it was you. Damn Senju Tabirma. Chapter 327, Suggestions for Using Words to Persuade. On screen turn 0 base. Tekuse slapped the instrument. How could this happen? The plan should have gone smoothly. Why was the brainwashing suddenly lifted? Having said this, he looked at Wuming. Wuming. Is that you? Wuming spread his hands innocently. I didn't do anything. Tekuse. Really? Could it be that you stopped because you were soft-hearted towards someone? Wuming, that's not the case. Tekuse slapped the instrument again. Then why is this? Marujin said, it doesn't matter. Even if the brainwashing fails, as long as I am here, Zero will not lose the advantage. Tekuse, but do you know how much money it cost to plan this far? Marujin said calmly, rather than that, it is better to pay attention to your surroundings first. Tekuse, huh? At this time, a member of Zero came in, knelt on one knee and reported, we have found traces of suspected Konoha ninjas near the base. Marujin, how quick? They've already come to my door. Tekuse was shocked. What on earth happened? Marujin, although they are slow to react, they are not stupid. It seems that they have been caught by the tail, and they are searching for our location. Tekuse, what? But how did they do it? There is so little information about Zero out there. Marujin, perhaps they also have experts who are as good as you. Tekuse, he is on par with me. Could it be Mr. Fangzhu? Marujin ordered. In any case, first deal with the enemies approaching the base. Go. Zero members should attend. Yes, Tekuse. Everything is beyond my expectations. Why did it turn out like this? Marujin laughed softly. It's getting interesting. Divine Space Sabito narrowed his eyes. Yeah, it's getting interesting. Let me see what you have up your sleeve, Meru. Somewhere in the ninja world Heiju smiled sinisterly and said, it has indeed become interesting. If you can prove your worth, I don't mind training another puppet. Rain Country Zio Organization. Naruto crossed his arms and followed suit. Hell, things are getting interesting. As long as Sasuke and I arrive, we can definitely beat this guy away. On screen Fire Nation Muai Village. Naruto's house. Boruto had just walked out of the house when he heard his communicator ringing. He picked up the communicator. I am Boruto. What's wrong? Sarada's voice came from the other end. Boruto, can you hear me? I'm Sarada. Boruto? Oh, I heard it. Sarada, let's not waste any more time. Is everything going well for you? It should be going well, right, Boruto? Yeah. That's perfect. So how are things going over there? Have you found your base? After the two chatted with each other for a few more sentences, Mitsuki's voice suddenly came from Sarada's communicator. Sarada. Danger, Sarada. Boruto said anxiously. Sarada. Hey, Sarada, damn it. What on earth happened? As he spoke, he quickened his pace. Screen turned. Boruto finally arrived at his destination, the suburban forest. When Mitsuki saw him, he whispered, Boruto? Boruto turned his head and found Mitsuki and Sarada hiding behind a big tree. Boruto walked over and squatted. Mitsuki explained to Boruto, they attacked. We managed to escape, but Shikide and the others were captured. Boruto clenched his fists. Damn it, Mitsuki, but, thanks to this, I already know where their base is. I've marked every 50 feet, 30 in total. When you see the last one, go straight and you'll find their base, Boruto said to the two. I understand. Leave the rest to me, you guys go back to the village first, Sarada said worriedly. You want to go alone? It's too dangerous, Boruto, I know. Looking at Boruto's determined look, Sarada shook her head. It seems that it is useless to stop you. Boruto looked at Mitsuki. Mitsuki, Sarada is in your care. Mitsuki nodded and said, yes. After bringing Sarada back to Konoha, I will bring reinforcements as soon as possible, Sarada suddenly said. Boruto. Wu Ming, what are you going to do? Ninja World. I suggest Boruto use his mouth to kiss her directly. Are they too confident in Boruto? Is it really okay to let Boruto go in by himself? The ninjas of Konoha village are not as good as a few children. All tasks have to be completed by children. Where are Naruto and Sasuke? Haven't they found their base yet? On screen Boruto said, I know a little about that girl. What did she do and what did she think? Although she has always hated the ninja world, she also feels very painful at the same time. So, I want to talk to her again, Sarada said. You must not fail. Boruto stood up. Of course. Screen turn 0 base. Wu Ming was a little absent-minded. Her mind recalled what Boruto had said to her in memory, destroying the ninja world. This is meaningless. It will only bring misfortune to everyone. I know you are actually a kind person. You would never do such a bad thing, Ken. Weapons don't need weak names. Just live on as a nameless weapon, endure the pain. This is for our family, don't cry. Crying is useless. Recall this. Wu Ming clenched his fists. Ninja World Alice. I am already very angry just by watching it. If I were to experience it myself, many people would probably be more extreme than Wu Ming. There are many people in this ninja world who have experienced pain. If they have the ability, there are many people who would like to do something for this ninja world like Wu Ming. On screen Jingzhen whispered, hey, will reinforcements come? Shikide, who was tied together, whispered, I don't know. If that guy is successful, he should come sooner or later. Fangs, who looked down at the belt that tied the three of them together, I see. As long as a small amount of chakra continues to flow through the rope, the strength can be increased. You really have a way. Tekusuke let out an evil laugh. It's really hard to see, Mr. Fang. When you approached this base, I was a little anxious, but I didn't expect to catch you so quickly. I was really worried for nothing. It's just that I didn't expect that the brainwashing that spread to the entire ninja world could be lifted so easily. That was also the work of Mr. Fang, right? How did you do it? Unexpectedly? Fang Zhu said with a surprised look on his face. Brainwashing lifted. Really? Ninja world? Oh no. Respecting teachers has always been a good tradition in our ninja world. This group of scientists is really useful. I believe the 5 major ninja villages have already taken it seriously. Chapter 328, Man Cannot Live Without Light. Fire Nation Muai Village. Shikaku was filled with worry. Shikide. I just hope nothing happens. Fugaku fell into deep thought. I originally thought that the 8,000 spears was an unsolvable ability, but from what this Tekusui said, can scientists actually do so much? On screen Shikide. In other words, that guy, Jingzhen, it succeeded, right? Tekusui stroked his chin. Judging from your reactions, could it be that it wasn't Mr. Fang Zhu who did it? At this point, he lowered his voice and said gloomily, who is that? It's me. Boruto's voice came from a distance. Ninja world. Oh my god. Boruto's ears are so good, I can hear it from such a distance. Pure Land. Hashirama scratched his head. Boruto's earwax must be cleaned out very well, right? Kushina's brows were filled with worry. Boruto is so reckless. I thought he would sneak in secretly. On screen Taku's turned his head and saw Akune shot towards him from a distance. Taku shrank back in fear and tripped to the ground. Yes. Who are you? The 3 people who were tied up saw that it was Boruto and shouted in unison, Boruto, Boruto, Master. Tekuse stood up and pushed up his glasses. You are, Maru's voice sounded. He is the ninja who bravely stopped the invasion of the Akatsuki before, and he is also the son of the 7th Hokage, Kaguya. Heizetsu's little black face turned pale with fright. The Akatsuki invasion. Mother, did you hear that? Pure Land. Hashirama pointed at the screen and said, TQs, you should clean your ears. Madara narrowed his eyes. An invasion by the Akatsuki. Tobirama frowned. It seems that the future crisis will be even more difficult. No wonder Boruto and the others were so alert when they heard Tonari introduce himself. It turns out that Boruto had also resisted the invasion of the Akatsuki. They have all seen Sharon's methods, which can be said to be unheard of. How difficult is the real Akatsuki? Thinking of this, Tobirama praised, no matter what, our 7th generation has given birth to an excellent son. On screen Boruto put down his hands on his waist and asked, I didn't expect you to know me. Marujin said, when my plan is complete, I intend to wipe out all the families around the shadow, so I also investigated you beforehand. I apologize for investigating you without permission, Boruto. It doesn't matter. Everything you did will be in vain anyway. Marujin, anyway, welcome to our zero base. Boruto asked, are you the guy named Marujin? Marujin, that's right. I am the one who leads Zero and guides this ninja world. I will surpass pain and become a true god. Boruto mocked without hesitation. It's really hilarious to be so bluffing. Mulijin smiled and said, it doesn't matter if the child doesn't understand. At this moment, most people in the ninja world were focusing on what Meirua had mentioned before, the Akatsuki invasion, including pain of Akatsuki Rain Country. Zio organization. Pine looked at Naruto in a trance. No, I can't train you to be as strong as you will be in the future. This concerns the safety of the entire ninja world compared to other people's misunderstanding of him and Akatsuki. Naruto's future plans are the most important. The direction of the ninja world is now different from before. It is unknown whether Naruto can grow to the level in the future. As for Marujin, his purpose was to start a war, and Akatsuki's goal is always to achieve true peace. In his eyes, people like Mulijin are just jumping clowns and are not worth his excessive attention. On screen Meirua looked at Boruto and said, so, I shouldn't ask you why you came, right? You come to rescue the captured companions and solve my organization at the same time, right, Boruto? It's a great help that you understood it so quickly, but you missed one thing. I also want to save Wuming, who is used by you. Let me talk to Wuming. After hearing these words, many people in the ninja world came back to their senses from their previous worries. Ninja world. Is Wuming going to appear again? Wumi. Sasuke in women's clothing. Goddess. People cannot live without light. How can people live without light? On screen, hearing Boruto's words, Meru chuckled and said, what did you say? As soon as he finished speaking, Wuming appeared and walked towards Boruto. Nameless. Boruto took a few steps forward. I came here because I wanted to talk to you, Wuming said without any emotion. I have nothing to say to you, Boruto. You don't have what I have, Wuming said calmly. Whether in the game or in reality, you are equally annoying. Don't worry about me anymore. You still have a chance to go home, Ninja World. If I hadn't heard your inner voice, I would have almost believed it. You actually gave Boruto and Mumei a chance to talk? Give Marujin a nice guy card. Wuming is probably worried about Boruto. If Boruto's life was truly threatened, I believe Hikari would take action. On screen, Boruto looked at Wuming in front of him. Don't joke. I finally got to see you in person. This way, my voice can be conveyed directly to you. Wuming was stunned and she closed her eyes. Memories flashed through my mind. In memory, Senju clan member, found it. She is Uchiha Mumei, Sarutobi tribe, chase her. Seal her. Recalling this, Wuming pulled out his kunai. 3 Magatama appeared in his eye sockets, and his figure suddenly rushed towards Boruto. Boruto pulled out a kunai to block it, making a ding sound. Nameless. Wuming, if you don't leave, then die, Boruto said firmly. I will only go back if you go with me. Ding. The two figures separated. You really? Wuming roared in a hoarse voice, you are really an idiot, Boruto. I don't want to fight you, Wuming. This is so annoying. Really? That's enough. Get out of my sight. Screen turn. Wuming was breathing heavily. Boruto half knelt on the ground, took a few breaths, stood up and said, to be honest, I originally thought that if I just talked to you, I could change your mind. It seems, my idea was too naive, but, when I think about it carefully, it's just like what you said. I've only known you for a few days, and it's really presumptuous of me to say that I can understand you. We grew up in different environments. I was born in modern times and grew up without worries, and you were born in the Warring States period, and were used in battle. The entanglement deep in your heart is heavier than I imagined, darker. We are in completely different positions. Chapter 329. Father and Son. Wuming said, it seems that you finally understand that you and I are completely different. Boruto looked up at her, but even so, I don't want to give up on you. If we have different positions. Boruto walked up to Wuming. Then wouldn't it be fine if we just try to get closer to each other? Wuming was stunned. Ninja World, just this tsundere look is quite cute. She had her hands on her hips, but when she heard Boruto say he didn't want to give up on her, she immediately put them down. Boruto has inherited the essence of Naruto's ability to preach. Take Guang home. With Naruto's personality, he will treat Guang well. I'm going to write down what Boruto says next. I'll analyze it word for word after the live broadcast. On screen, Boruto looked at Wuming, who was still in a daze, and continued, I don't have enough time to understand all your thoughts. I can't understand the pain you feel. But this is only now. We can take it slow. Tell me everything about you. Vent out the dissatisfaction accumulated in your heart, and then think about the future. Just say a little at a time. Take your time. Use happy memories to cover up the bad memories. At least I know you through ninja heroes. Boruto bared his teeth and said with a smile, I am really very happy. You and I are no longer strangers. Boruto held out his hand. We are friends, so it can be done, right? Ninja World, here it comes. Here it comes again. Father and son are the same. They give out friendship cards after seducing people. But you can always believe the friendship that the scumbag Uzumaki father and son talk about. Boruto will never give up on you. After seeing what Naruto and Sasuke went through, I believe this without a doubt. On screen, Wuming stared at Boruto in front of him in a daze. In memory, Boruto, we are friends, right? But, Uchiha clan, you were born to continue the prosperity of the clan. Destroy the enemy with the awareness of death. You don't need feelings. You just need to survive to the end as a weapon. Recalling this, Wuming slapped Boruto's hand away with force. Are you an idiot? You are definitely an idiot. Did you hear what I said? I hate this ninja world so much. That's why I want to destroy the ninja world. Then my hatred will disappear. What can change unpleasant memories into happy memories? I don't care about that kind of thing. I just want to destroy this ninja world. That's all. No matter what you say, my wish will not waver in the slightest. Listening to her roar, Boruto slowly said, stop lying. I didn't lie. Boruto also loudly refuted, no, you lied. I am so annoyed. Boruto closed his eyes. If I'm not lying, then why are you crying now? Wuming widened his tearful eyes. She seemed to react suddenly and quickly wiped it with her sleeve. Boruto said, you actually. Without waiting for Boruto to continue, Wuming threw his sleeves and interrupted loudly, shut up. It's all your fault. It's all because of you that my head has become a mess. Fire Nation Muai Village Uchiha clan. The two Sasukes, one big and one small, sighed at the same time. She is so pitiful. Future Sasuke said nothing. What did my ancestors do? At least in this matter, the second Hokage was right. It's evil indeed. Hyuga clan. Boruto pursed his lips. Wuming at this moment really makes people feel pity for him. It seems that there is nothing more fragile in the world than the figure on the screen who is shouting at the top of his lungs, Ninja World. I have a feeling that if Boruto kisses her now, Mayuru will be the only enemy left, like a couple quarreling. Why do I feel that? If it were somewhere else, with no outsiders present, Wuming would be persuaded by Boruto after all the arguing. If we're just friends, it's hard to let your head get messed up, right? For example, I only do this in front of the person I secretly love. On screen, Marujin said, Wuming, get rid of the people who are causing you confusion. Kill him, calm your hesitation, and you will get the future you hope for. At this point, he clenched his fists and said with a smile, a world where the ninja world is destroyed. Wuming, still with tears in his eyes, pulled out his kunai without hesitation. Boruto approached her and said, Wuming, don't listen to him. Didn't I say you were so noisy? Don't make me suffer anymore. That's enough. Don't disturb my thoughts anymore. Wuming raised his head, and the Mangekyou Sharingan appeared in his eyes. Boom! Boruto jumped back, leaving the explosion range of the fireball. Wuming rushed out from the sea of fire, holding a kunai, and stabbed at Boruto with a determined look on his face. Nameless. This time, Boruto didn't hide. The kunai stopped in front of him. What's going on? What on earth is wrong with you? Wuming lowered his head and clenched his right wrist, which was holding the kunai, tightly with his left hand. Why, is it always in my head? There were only painful memories in the past. Why does your smile appear now? Why, even though I think you're in the way, your face still appears? Why, you? Boruto said, I just said that I cannot understand your pain now. Although I am unwilling, I can't do anything about it, but I can slowly turn your memories into happy things. You can play ninja heroes or go out and play with everyone. In short, let's do everything together that you couldn't do before. I can do these things now, so, can you give me a chance? Give me one last chance to make you like the current ninjas and the ninja world. Wuming clenched his teeth tightly. Tick, tick, tears fell to the ground one by one. Boruto, Boruto, Wuming's body went limp and he fell to his knees. She reached out her trembling hands and covered her eyes. Marojin behind Wuming said, I am so disappointed, Wuming, aren't you destroying the ninja world just to avenge past hatred? Is this the extent of your hatred? Having said that, he sneered. In the end, he is just a little devil. Ninja world, this is the second time he interrupted me at a critical moment. This guy is so rude. Damn, that's so touching. My nose is about to run down my throat, thanks to Marojin who interrupted me suddenly. Alice, poor and lovely Wuming, Boruto's words are actually very touching. Chapter 330 Control. On screen Boruto said to Marojin, I want to take Wuming away. Marojin said calmly, things that have lost their usefulness, whether to discard them or give them away, never mind. I don't care. You can do whatever you want with the things you have used up. Boruto frowned and asked in a deep voice, what do you mean by value or something? Are you just like those guys before, using Wuming as a tool? Marojin, in my opinion, as someone who has almost become a god, whether it is the daimyo, the 5 Kage, or the heritage of the past, everything is just an ant. Boruto clenched his fists. Although your idea is infuriating, I will take Wuming away without hesitation. Marojin, yes. You can take it away. Ninja world, this guy Marojin seems very confident in his own strength. He even said that he is almost a god. Is this true? You're going to let Boruto take Wuming away so easily? What about the 3 Konoha companions? Aren't we going to save them? I'm afraid it won't be that simple. On screen after finishing speaking, Marojin slowly spoke again. But, it must be after I have used it, Boruto asked. What do you mean? At this time, Shikide and Jingzhen reminded loudly. Boruto didn't have time to react and was flung away by the chakra burst from Wuming in front of him. Wuming knelt on the ground again and covered his head with his hands. Woo. Boruto stood up and said worriedly, Wuming, what's wrong with you? Fangzhu shouted, Master. Boruto looked over and saw Takashige next to Hosuke, with his head lowered, quickly operating the equipment strapped to his arm. That is, Wuming held his head tightly. Boruto asked loudly, asshole. What did you do? Tekuse said proudly, do you think we would unlock her seal without any plan? Don't look at me like this, I am actually very cautious. Marojin said, have you heard of the spell of confinement? As long as you cast the spell seal on the other person, you can control her at will. Even if she is given a certain degree of freedom, she will never betray the caster. If necessary, she can also completely control her actions. Don't you think this is the most ideal way to control a weapon with its own thoughts? Tekuse added, and I made it very modern. Look at her hair accessories, don't they look good? At this point, he said with a sly smile, so cute that people would mistake it for a decoration. Right, I am a considerate man who takes appearance into consideration, Marojin said. To realize my ideal, she is still somewhat useful. I want to release the power of her weapons that used to be so frightening. Come, remove the shackles of the weapons and destroy everything. Wuming stood up with a dazed look and took a few steps forward. Nameless, Ren, the chakra in her body exploded. Shikide reminded urgently, Boruto. Don't hesitate. Fight. Otherwise you will die. But, Fangzhu comforted her, don't worry. Just fight as usual. After Wuming loses consciousness, we will find a way to save her. Marojin raised his lips. Can it really be so smooth? Tekuse, the opponent is an Uchiha weapon. There is no way a mere Jinan can win. Ninja world, but the problem is, the other party is a Jinan from Konoha. Maybe there really is no problem. If it was a Chunin or Jinan, I might still worry about whether there would be any accidents, but if it was a Jinan from Konoha, I can only mourn for zero. By the way, those guys in Konoha village seem to be very confident in Boruto's abilities. How could Boruto, at such a young age, possibly face the main Gekkai of Sharingan, the talisman of the imprisonment spell? I have a bold idea. On screen Jingzhen, Boruto, Shikide, no time to worry. Focus on fighting. Boruto got into a fighting stance. Screen turned. The two stood facing each other, both breathing softly. Marojin said, I am really surprised. I didn't expect you to be able to suppress Wuming. Tekuse, does she still have some self-awareness? Maybe that's why she's not using her full strength. If I tighten the control and make her lose her will completely. As he spoke, he quickly started operating the instrument simultaneously. Wuming cried out in pain. and the hair ornament on his forehead began to spark. Boruto walked towards Wu Ming with an anxious look on his face. "Are you okay?" As soon as he walked in front of Wu Ming, he was kicked away. This powerful kick directly kicked Boruto far away and hit him hard on the supporting pillar behind him. The three hostages were shocked. "Boruto? Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan!" Boruto gasped. "Is the force so strong?" Niji's eyelids twitched. "Will someone die?" On screen Tekuyu says, looks like he was beaten to death." His words trailed off. Boruto, who had been motionless, suddenly moved, then struggled to get up. No name, Marojin sighed. "Really tenacious," Tekuyu smiled and said, "Don't worry, it will be over in the next attack." Wu Ming formed seals with his hands and spit a large fireball at Boruto. Boruto subconsciously covered his face with his arms. Next moment a golden chakra palm held the fireball. Boom! Then, with a bang, the fireball was crushed to pieces. Tekuyu was stunned. What? Marojin said. Tekuyu looked down and saw that a black flame was coming out of the instrument on his arm. He was immediately frightened. "Hey! My machine!" Meru seemed to sense something, and sure enough, when he turned around he saw Sasuke, who wanted to rescue the hostages faced with a 3 kunai thrown by Marojin. Sasuke used his heavenly hand to rescue the 3 hostages. "Ninja World, it's stable this time. I felt safe all of a sudden. They are finally here. As long as Naruto and Sasuke are here, even if a god comes, they can try to kill him, not to mention Meru, who is almost a god." On screen Dad. Naruto turned around, looked at Boruto and said with a smile, "Leave it to us next." Sayadi looked at Meru and the other person. "You two are making quite a fuss." Mulijin said calmly, "Are you here, 2 sinners?" Naruto is puzzled. "Sinner?" Sasuke's tone was also very calm. "What qualifications do you have to say that? You have plunged the ninja world into chaos, and you have the nerve to blame others." Marojin laughed twice. "You do not understand how serious your sin is," Naruto asked. "What are you talking about?" Marojin gave his own explanation. "The name of our organization Zero comes from the idea of returning the ninja world to zero. Then why must we return to zero? This era is so peaceful. This is because the era you created is a mistake. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 331 Concept. Sasuke snorted coldly. "Anyone who wants to rebel will say something like this." Marojin, "It seems that you, who are well versed in the dark side, are also very familiar with the evil spirits spreading among the lower classes, but Zero is different. Everyone follows me because they hope I can change this era. Although I was the one who founded the organization, all the members joined voluntarily. They took the initiative to help and agreed with my ideas." Sasuke, "What do you want to say?" Meru, "Okay, I'll start with a conclusion. This world craves battle. Perhaps you are already quite satisfied with a peaceful era, but peace without conflict, tranquility will wipe out the existence of ninjas. After experiencing the 4th Ninja World War, the new era you created has produced a distortion without disputes. In this era where fighting is not sought, where should those who are troubled by this distortion go? Therefore, they seek a place to stay in Zero. Some people live for fighting, some want to test themselves, and some make a living as mercenaries. Some of them lost their families in the past wars and are looking for someone to vent their anger on. They long for battle, for a time of hurting others, of blood, of venting their emotions. This coincides with Pain's philosophy: rule everything with power. Maruzu's words angered many people in the ninja world. "You're absolutely right, Beast. Where to go? I suggest you die." Is he worthy of being compared with Pain? If you're eager to fight, then fight among yourselves. Get the entire ninja world involved. Are you sure you don't have a problem with your brain? I'm so fed up with these guys who are messing up the ninja world. To sum it up, in pursuit of excitement, regardless of the lives of others, they are just a bunch of selfish bastards. I hope they become targets to be hurt and vent their anger on. If all your relatives are dead and you are the only one left, how can you desire war and chaos? So this is the orphan mentality. As beneficiaries of peace, they will certainly maintain the hard-won peace. On screen Naruto said in a deep voice, "You are wrong. Pain. Nagato wants to see peace after that. What you are doing is just rationalizing those meaningless battles." In the ninja world someone agrees. "Naruto, that's a good point. As expected of a Hokage, your speech is much more sophisticated than when you were younger." What Marojin said was just to rationalize a meaningless fight. On screen Marujin asked, "What's wrong with this? Times will continue to cycle. After the conflict ends, peace will come, and then there will be conflict again. This is the law of the times, and I agree with Pain's ideas, but I don't intend to do the same thing as him. I am me. I will create my ideal era based on his ideas. That is to destroy the current ninja world and return to the war era again. When I achieve this, I will become a god who surpasses Pain." Sasuke sneered, "Is this what you wish for? How shallow." Naruto also said, "What you are doing now requires too much sacrifice both internally and externally. You are just spreading misfortune in the ninja world." Marujin, "Achieving great things requires sacrifice. My subordinates all realize this, and that's why they joined Zero. The same goes for Wuming. She joined the organization to destroy the ninja world, and she longs to use her power to her heart's content." Boruto said, "That kind of thing, the current Wuming, doesn't expect it." Marujin smiled and said, "Yes. Because of someone's boring instigation, she lost her will to fight and even lost control. Now, I am just a burden." As he said this, Marujin glanced at Wuming who was breathing heavily in front of him. "However, it still has some value. Uzumaki Boruto, you just said you wanted to take Wuming away, right? It's up to you. I don't need her anymore." Marujin picked up Wuming and kicked her out. "What? Wuming?" Boruto yelled, leaping up and catching Wuming with his body with a bang. Boruto, who was holding Wuming, fell heavily to the ground with his back. "Ugh, Fire Nation Muai Village." Boruto gritted his teeth and said in hatred, "This bastard, he will definitely get his comeuppance." Hayashi said, "The screen is facing the entire ninja world. Once you appear on the screen, you will be seen and remembered by everyone in the ninja world. Guang's experience is very sympathetic, and she looks like, ahem. Her appearance, there must be many people in the ninja world who like her." Just because of this kick, after the live broadcast, Marujin will not only face the pursuit of those who like Guang very much, but even the bounty on the black market will increase to a terrifying number. Hayashi said that he didn't even need to guess. The ninja world must be in an uproar right now after all. Even someone as calm as him was feeling a little unstable at the moment. Boruto pursed his lips and nodded. He had seen with his own eyes how enthusiastic those fans were when Uncle Sasuke showed up. The entire Konoha village was shaken. He believed that this was what Uncle Sasuke deserved as he was secretly protecting the peace of the ninja world. However, he would probably never forget that scene on screen. Naruto glared at Marujin. "You bastard," Sasuke reminded. Naruto, Marujin, holding a kunai, flashed in front of Naruto. "There is a flaw." Naruto also raised his fist and hid him. Screen turn. Naruto and Sasuke were a little dirty. Meru was half kneeling on the ground, breathing heavily. "You are really good at this," Sasuke said. "You think you can defeat us with this little strength?" Naruto also said, "You can't beat me and Sasuke." Marujin laughed and slowly stood up. "As expected, the chance to win is now. Luring you all here was the right choice." "Sasuke, you are still talking nonsense when you are about to die," Marujin said calmly. "Under normal circumstances, my strength should be far inferior to yours. It's quite regrettable, but what about now? The battle has consumed a lot of energy. You must be exhausted." "The fact that I am still standing is the best proof," Sasuke asked. "So this is your chance to win?" "Naruto, you are totally wrong to think so. No matter how much we consume, we will still be the winners in the end." Marujin chuckled and spread his hands and said, "Have you heard of the 8,000 spears? This ability can control the chakra of the connected person at will, and can even transmit it back to the caster endlessly. Therefore, the Uchiha clan wanted to use the 8,000 spears to strengthen ally techniques, although it all ended in failure. But the existence of 8,000 spears shocked the world." Hearing his words, Sasuke turned his head to look at Wuming in Boruto's arms and said, "That is Uchiha Wuming's ability." Marujin said, "Yes, it is Wuming's unique ability, and only Wuming's Sharingan can use it. But one day I heard a piece of news. A new kind of artificial eye appeared in this world. Even though the top leaders denied it, there were still rumors that installing it would restore sight and gain powerful strength." Chapter 332. "You are here." Hearing his words, Tekuse laughed wickedly. Fangzu said nervously, "Could it be Tekuse? You gave that artificial eye to Tekuse?" That's right. I handed it over to Meru-sama. In the end, I got some really great data. I was originally struggling with the source of chakra supply, but later I found a way to solve all the problems at once." Hearing this, Fangzu loudly reminded Naruto and Sasuke, "Be careful. The artificial eye made by Tekuse can copy pupil techniques." Naruto, "Copying? If that's the case, could it be Tekuse?" "That's right. It's the super dream function that can remove the restrictions of blood ties and allow anyone to use pupil techniques. This ultimate artificial eye is the greatest masterpiece of my life, Sasuke, if there really is such a function. Marujin smiled and said, that's right. Now, as he spoke, he pulled down the cloth covering the upper half of his face, revealing a pair of 3 Magatama Sharingan. I have 8,000 spears, Sasuke. Naruto said solemnly. I know, Marujin. It seems you guys realize how dangerous the eyes are. He formed seals with his hands, but it's too late. The mark that had been carved earlier appeared in Naruto's hand, and a stream of chakra was taken from Naruto's body and poured into Meru's body. Not only Naruto, but all the chakra in the bodies of people with marks all over the ninja world were absorbed into Meru's body. Now everyone in the ninja world has a link to Tsukuyomi engraved on their bodies. What does this mean? You should understand it, right? Their chakra is under my control. I can collect their chakra as I wish, and use the huge amount of accumulated chakra to draw out the maximum power of the main Gekyo Sharingan. I can also reproduce that power. Itachi was shocked to see the huge Susanoo appearing around Meru. Is this Susanoo? His Susanoo ninja world? Oh my god, it's so big. The chakra of everyone in the ninja world plus the main Gekyo Sharingan? I can't imagine how strong he is now. Can researchers actually achieve this? It's too much. Nearwater country Orochimaru licked the corner of his lips. Hey, interesting. Pure Land Minato looked at his son on the screen, who was more mature than him, with a nervous look on his face. Naruto, you must succeed. On screen Sasuke looked up at the red Susanoo in front of him. This is, Naruto said in disbelief. Is this true? Marujin and Susanoo looked down at the two of them. It's not the original, so the appearance is a little distorted, but it's enough to bury you here. So you guys are no longer the strongest of the current generation. After saying that, he drew out his sword, and the huge force created directly blew away Sasuke's Susanoo with just the motion of drawing his sword. Zero's base began to collapse. Boomy do not know how long it has been, Marujin said with a smile. You are just ants that can be destroyed with a wave of the hand. Naruto, who was lying on the ground, opened his eyes at the same time. Sasuke opened his eyes and tried to struggle to get up. Marujin said, how tenacious. But, the huge red Susanoo slashed towards Naruto and Sasuke. It's over. Naruto and Sasuke used the powerful Susanoo in perfect harmony, pulled out a sword and held it across their heads, trying to block the red Susanoo's sword. Ding. Meru looked down at the two of them. Can that be considered resistance? It's just a desperate attempt to delay time by draining out a nearly exhausted chakra. I didn't expect that the two people who made history would end up like this. It's too tragic. Boom. Naruto and Sasuke struggled to block the red Susanoo's sword. No, this is not good. Concentrate. Marujin's mouth curled up. Ha, your era is over. Next is my era. The red Susanoo stretched out his hand, grasped the blade, and pressed it down hard. Go to hell. Ninja world. Seeing this scene, many people were shocked. Even Naruto and Sasuke can't stand up to him. Marujin is so powerful. Naruto and Sasuke won't die here, right? If Naruto and Sasuke can't resist this guy, then the ninja world will be completely finished. Naruto's chakra has been drained away, and now he can only resist Meru's attack with difficulty. Sasuke doesn't seem to be a match for that guy either. If nothing unexpected happens, something unexpected will happen to the ninja world. On screen, boom, the red Susanoo's sword seemed to be deflected by an invisible attack and did not hit the powerful Susanoo. The three people in the field all looked in Boruto's direction. Boruto? Marujin looked surprised. Why, haven't you already? Is it Wuming? Boruto looked at Marujin with fierceness in his eyes. Just now, Boruto and Wuming fainted when the base collapsed. Wuming woke up before Boruto. Looking at Boruto, who was in a coma, she crawled towards him with difficulty. I hate the ninja world, and ninjas. Wuming placed his hand on Boruto's palm and transferred his chakra to him. But, if you're here, this world is still Boruto. Screen turn. Wuming was covered with Boruto's coat, and it was unknown whether he was dead or alive. This scene made many people feel a lump in their throat. She's already so weak. If she supplies chakra to Boruto, she'll die. In the last moment before she fell into coma, she still hated the ninja world and ninjas, but because of Boruto, if it wasn't for Marujin. Damn it, I really hope someone can save Wuming. She is so pitiful. I hope this cute and pitiful little girl can live happily for the rest of her life. Wow. In her life, only Boruto has given her warmth. Fire Nation. Boruto's tears flowed uncontrollably. Nameless, listening to Wuming's weak words, He felt as if a big hand was tearing his heart apart. That feeling was so painful that he felt suffocated. He already understood how important he was in Wuming's heart. On screen, Boruto looked at the red Susanoo and said to Wuming behind him, "Wait for me. I will take care of it right away, Marujin." Doing such a meaningless thing at the last minute, Naruto said to Boruto, who was standing between him and Sasuke, "Thanks, Boruto, Marujin. This battle is no longer something a child can intervene in. You're really going too far." Boruto clenched his fists. This era was established with great difficulty by Dad and his friends after overcoming various difficulties. You want to destroy all of this? I can't forgive you, but what I cannot accept even more is, you took advantage of Wuming, who had a painful past. You didn't even consider her as a human being. Chapter 333 Boruto and number 039, S Strength. Marujin said, "Stupid. Wuming is a weapon." "What's wrong with using a weapon?" Boruto shouted angrily. "Wuming is my friend. How dare you hurt my friend like this? I will never let you go." Looking at Boruto, who was bursting with energy, a drop of sweat slid down Meru's face. Sweating, facing an opponent who is only supplied with chakra by Wuming. This scene made everyone in the ninja world full of questions. Fire Nation, Muai Village, Hyuga clan. Several people in the field looked at Boruto. All of them were a little bit unbelievable. Neji asked, "Boruto can actually make Meru afraid. Are you stronger than Naruto and Sasuke if you take it seriously?" "Of course I'm not as strong as Dad and Uncle Sasuke." Boruto looked at his palm with his eyes lowered. On screen, Marujin, like everyone else in the ninja world, was a little bit unbelieving, but a smile still appeared on the corner of his mouth. "Forget it. Anyway, this plan will eventually eliminate all those who are related to the shadow. I will make you disappear first." Opposite the red Susanoo, Naruto and Sasuke walked to Boruto's side. "Naruto, how can a father stand by and watch his son still fighting?" "Sasuke, I agree. A master cannot lose to his disciple." Boruto clenched his fists and said to the red Susanoo in front of him, "I will not lose to you. Let's end it." Screen turned to battered Marujin said in disbelief, "I was beaten." Everyone in the ninja world, Pure Land, everyone in Hashirama was stunned. Boruto is so strong, Izune doubts life, so outrageous. Should I say he is worthy of being Naruto's son? Madara fell into deep thought. Could it be that he has some special abilities like Wuming? Kushina's eyes widened. No wonder Sarada and Mitsuki let Boruto go into Zero's base on his own. It turns out he's so strong, although I didn't see how they fought. It goes without saying how important Boruto was. You are worthy of being my grandson, even though this would make her look old. But Kushina only had pride on her face at the moment. Fire Nation, Muai Village. How is that possible? How old is Boruto? Naruto and Sasuke seem to be very confident in Boruto's ability. It seems that he is the protagonist of the future era, as expected of Naruto's son. On screen, Marujin, "I am the god who establishes a new era." The red Susanoo's silhouette rose again, and its shadow enveloped the three of them. "I don't admit this." The red Susanoo raised its sword, and a huge amount of chakra gathered above it. "I absolutely cannot admit this." As he said this, he chopped down with his knife. Faced with such a powerful sword, Boruto subconsciously took half a step back. Naruto clasped his hands together, his chakra exploded, and he tried to use the tailed beast transformation to resist the sword. The moment the nine-tailed fox appeared, it was knocked to the ground by the sword. Nine-tailed fox. "Ugh! You're woo-woo!" Naruto yelled. I know." Sasuke jumped into the air. Purple skeletons appeared around him, and he swung out a slash mixed with black flames. This strike directly cut a hole in the red Susanoo, and the remaining force of the strike continued to hit Marujin. After swinging that slash, Sasuke's body fell to the ground with a bang. "There's a flaw." Boruto. Naruto and his shadow clone stood beside Boruto. The moment the Rasengan appeared in his hand, Naruto and his shadow clone threw Boruto towards Meru. "Deal with him." Boruto, holding the Rasengan, shouted to Meru. The era was established by humans. Meru gritted his teeth and stretched out his hands to control the recovery of Susanoo. "We don't need a self-will god, Rasengan." Boruto slammed the Rasengan in his hand hard at the red Susanoo. Booma. Marujin and Susanoo watched as several cracks appeared on Susanoo. Why did I lose to this brat? Don't look down on me." Boruto recalled his father's experience in his mind. We are ninjas." The next moment, Susanoo was completely shattered, and the Rasengan and Boruto's hand pressed hard on Meru's body. With a loud bang, Marujin's body slammed heavily into the rock wall behind him. Naruto looked at Boruto's back, with a smile on his face. Pure Land. The corners of Tobirama's mouth twitched. "If the facts weren't in front of me, I wouldn't believe this." Fire Nation Muay Village hiss. Such a powerful enemy was defeated by Boruto with just one Rasengan. It's not simple. Uchiha clan land. Young Sasuke looked at future Sasuke and sighed. You're getting old. Future Sasuke glanced at him and said, don't worry. There will be a day like that for you too. Hyuga clan. Boruto looked at him at his little mouth that had grown into an O shape, and the corners of his mouth slightly curled up, but quickly suppressed it. Under normal circumstances, he would probably ask them excitedly if he was amazing, because he was too worried about wooming on the screen. He couldn't feel proud at the moment unless the story has a good ending on screen. Naruto, Sasuke, and Boruto looked down at Meru, who was lying on the ground. Mirojin spoke breathlessly. Are you at your wit's end? He, ha ha ha. Boruto Uzumaki, is it because I underestimated you too much that I failed? Boruto retorted, no. This era is more powerful than you think. You lost to the era that Dad and his friends established. Mirojin murmured, powerful. Can this sentence really last until the end? There is nothing wrong with my idea. In this era, many people do desire war. Boruto said, even if this is the case, you can't use people as tools. No one will benefit from your actions. It's just your self-satisfaction. Mirojin gritted his teeth and said sarcastically, how dare a mere child say that? Sasuke said, but you were defeated by that kid. Naruto said, how can he win? These children have inherited our will of fire, our new power. An indestructible, powerful force. Maruzu's 3 Magatama Sharingan stared blankly at the sky. You said that thing would be stronger than me. The image of Tendo Pain appeared in his mind. As long as you have a will as strong as God, you can easily change the world. That kind of thing makes me angry. His clenched fists loosened. A power that makes people extremely angry. After he finished speaking, his eyes darkened. At this moment, Fang Zhu suddenly called out, Master. Chapter 334, Sunny Road, Final Chapter. Ninja World. Oh my god. I'm still feeling sad about the end of this bastard. After all, he was such a powerful guy. But now after Fang Zhu's reminder, I finally remembered wooming. Boruto, what are you talking about with a dying man? Go check on wooming. Wooming should be fine. It's just some chakra. Now that this matter is over, will wooming live in Naruto's house in the future? Or Sasuke's house? Because of Boruto, will wooming look awkward and call Naruto uncle? I don't care. I want to see with my own eyes that the problem of Naruto and Sasuke's infertility is solved in the next generation. On screen, Boruto clenched his fists. Unknown her, wooming closed his eyes and breathed weakly. She spoke with difficulty and incoherently. No, it's okay, my own body. I know. Ninja World. Someone's pupils trembled. What does this mean? What about the reversal? Wait a little longer. There will definitely be one. How can Hikari die? Boruto hasn't erased her painful memories yet. Somewhere in the Ninja World. Black Zetsu's eyes flickered. Uchiha wooming may become its final trump card. Although Meru is very powerful, he is nothing but a waste without Tekusase's help. Wooming is quite useful. With the 8,000 spears, if we can rescue my mother, it's not that there is no chance. On screen, Boruto quickly came to her. I'm very happy that I can become friends with Boruto, but I am still in so much pain. I can't forget the things in the past. I am very distressed, but Boruto lowered his eyes and said softly, don't say any more. I know everything. Wooming closed his eyes. I'm sorry. Boruto looked at her face and said soothingly, I know everything. Wooming coughed twice, and then she opened her eyes again, but it seemed as if she could see nothing. Hey, Boruto? Where have you been? She held out her hand. Boruto quickly held her hand. Don't worry. I'm right beside you. Wooming slowly moved his palm away, and a small pyroxene was now lying quietly in Boruto's palm. It's me, and Boruto's pyroxene. Although I am small, but I am precious. Can you accept it? Boruto hurriedly responded. Of course. He forced a smile on his nervous face. That's right. This pyroxene has to keep growing. Let's go out and play together from now on. Okay. Wooming spoke slowly. How annoying. Why is this the end? Boruto's eyes gradually filled with tears, and he still had a forced smile on his face as he listened to Wooming's weak voice. I want to go everywhere with Boruto. Boruto couldn't hold back the forced smile on his face any longer and bit his lips hard. Well, I'm not willing to accept this. After saying that, tears slid down Wooming's face, and his hands fell limply in Boruto's palm, completely lifeless, nameless. Boruto held back his tears and lowered his head in pain. Ninja World, what about the reverse? Wait a little longer. Wait a little longer. Someone wiped the corner of his eye with his finger. Really? You said it so touchingly. If nothing happens and he comes back to life, won't it be embarrassing? Tekusase was arrested. Is there no follow-up? Did she really die like this? Fire Nation Hyuga clan. Boruto clutched his collar tightly, his vision blurred, and in the end he simply closed his eyes, tears streaming down his eyes. Nameless, I haven't made you like ninjas and the ninja world yet, and I haven't replaced your hateful memories with happy ones yet. The water country is not far away. Orochimaru licked the corner of his lips. It's a pity that such a powerful ability died like this. Kabuto nodded silently. It's a pity, but then he heard Orochimaru mumbling to himself, where's the place where she is sealed? Dao's whole body trembled. He looked at Orochimaru in disbelief. Lord Orochimaru, are you thinking? Divine Space. Obito was lost in thought. Where could it be? The former battlefield. On screen Boruto's voice rang out. And just like that, the rebellion led by Zero ended. Fortunately, the 5 major ninja villages did not suffer any major damage. The only victim was a young girl. Why did it turn out like this? At the beginning, it was just a trivial matter. Screen turn. A beautiful and sunny day in the yard. Boruto handed the necklace made of pyroxene to Himori. I have something to give you, although it is different from what we agreed. Wow, so beautiful, Boruto said, because I still didn't get my father's necklace in the end. Seeing Himori reaching out and gently taking the necklace, Boruto quickly added, but I'm just lending it to you. This is my brother's treasure. Sunflower held the necklace in both hands and asked doubtfully, can I accept such an important thing? Yet. That's okay. She had been in the dark the whole time, and finally came out. So, I wanted to let her get some sun as much as possible, but my brother will be very busy with missions later, and if I carry it with me, I might lose it. So I'll ask Himori to keep it. Sunflower looked at the necklace in her palm. I don't quite understand, but just protect it well, right? That's right. Zyuki is so sensible. Boruto smiled and touched Himori's head. Hey, Boruto helped Himori put the necklace on her. Then I'm going to play. Boruto laughed and said, oh. After Himori ran away, the smile on Boruto's face slowly disappeared. He looked at the diamond-shaped mark on his palm. Somewhat absent-minded, the screen went dark. Fire Nation Muai Village. Ugh, why did Boruto give the pyroxene to Himori? Boruto looks like he foresees that his future life will not be peaceful. And the palm of his hand, what is that? Hyuga clan. Boruto's eyes were dull, and he was still mumbling, Wu-Ming, Uchiha clan. Future Sasuke side. Little Sasuke also looked uninterested. After a moment, little Sasuke found that the screen in front of him lit up again. Sunny Road, final chapter. The two of them were stunned. That's not the title of the next video. Ninja World. I knew this video wasn't finished yet. Follow up. Is there any more Wu-Ming? Chapter 335. Empty. On screen. Early morning. Boruto opened his eyes. Morning. He sat up. There is a mission today. Screen turn. Hinata's questioning voice was heard from Naruto's house. Where is the meeting place? Boruto seemed to have something stuffed in his mouth. Konoha's main gate. Hinata warned, be careful not to be late. Not long after, Boruto looked at Himori and Hinata, who were standing at the door. Then I'm going out. Sunflower smiled sweetly and said, be careful on the road. Country of Earth. Iwagakure, who was in a depressed mood, couldn't help but complain. What kind of danger could there be on the road? You can't possibly faint while walking and have your soul temporarily leave your body to see Wu-Ming, right? Unoki was about to slap him on the back of the head, then Dieter muttered again, why else is it called the Sunny Road? Unoki's hands froze in midair, and his pupils trembled violently. He thought, before Wu-Ming died, he was still in pain because of his hatred for the ninja world, so Boruto won't give up until he convinces her. The content of the video later is that Boruto chases Wu-Ming to Pure Land to preach and untie the knot in his heart. Thinking of Naruto's obsession with Sasuke, hiss, reasonable. On screen. Konoha village entrance. Konohamaru looked at the 3 students in front of him and said, it's been a long time since we've gathered like this. Sarada said, because Mr. Konohamaru is also running around to deal with Zero's aftermath. Konohamaru spread his hands and complained, yet, I'm super tired. Sarada, thank you for your hard work. Mitsuki asked, so what is today's mission? Konohamaru said, yes. Looking for a pet, Sarada exclaimed, again? Did you do the same task last time? Konohamaru explained, due to the recent unrest, many pets were lost in the panic. Some have not been found yet, so we are going to search for and capture them today. Mitsuki turned to look at Boruto. It seems like this time was also very hard. Boruto, Boruto? Mitsuki called out again. Boruto came back to his senses. Huh? What did you just say? Ninja World. Boruto hasn't gotten over his sadness yet. But what a coincidence, I haven't gotten over it either. Woohoo. My Sasuke women's clothing, the mission from Konoha village, is too easy. Their rewards are so easy to earn. This time Boruto didn't stand in the middle of the three. I thought he was always the backbone. On screen Konohamaru looked at Boruto. Hey, are you listening to me? I haven't been on a mission for a long time. You're really worrying, Boruto said confidently. No problem. I will do it when it's time. Screen turn. It's still the entrance to Konoha village. Konohamaru said, okay. This completes the mission. Mitsuki looked at Boruto and said, it will take longer than I thought. Boruto was in low spirits. Sorry, it's all because I'm so lame. Sarada looked at him and asked, are you unmotivated? Do you know how many times you failed just now? I know everything. I will definitely return the favor next time. Sarada was helpless. That's not what I meant. Boruto looked up at Konohamaru, who was holding a cat, and said, Teacher Konohamaru, can we go home today? Konohamaru, well, it seems there are no additional quests, Boruto said, then let's disband here. Thank you for your hard work. After saying that, he left immediately. Wait a minute. Sarada hurriedly chased after him. Mitsuki said, goodbye, Mr. Konohamaru. As soon as he finished speaking, Mitsuki quickly chased in the direction of Boruto. He slowed down his pace only when he reached Boruto. After the three of them walked for a while, Sarada looked at Boruto, who was standing in the middle. Hey, Boruto, what's the matter? The three of them stopped. You haven't been in good spirits for a while. Are you still thinking about wooming? Boruto sighed. Sarada, as expected, Boruto, it doesn't matter. What I want is my own business, but you made mistakes in the mission because of this, and caused us a lot of trouble. Boruto, I've already apologized. Boruto, tell us about your troubles. Maybe it will make you feel better. We are in the same class, right? Screen turned. Sarada and Boruto found a long wooden chair and sat down. Mitsuki stood in front of Boruto, and Sarada also turned sideways and looked at Boruto. Boruto looked at the wooden floor beneath his feet and spoke slowly. Ever since the battle with Marajin, I have been thinking about what I should do to save Wooming. Sarada said, I heard about the report at that time. Mitsuki also said, judging from the situation at that time, it was difficult to save her, right? At that time, not only were the 7th generation and Uncle Sasuke exhausted, but you were also covered in wounds, right? And the confinement spell hairband they made seemed to be a great burden to the user. Boruto said, your investigation is really thorough. Mitsuki said, I just heard about the information about the confinement spell from my relatives. Ninja World. If I hadn't heard Mitsuki's explanation, I wouldn't have known that thing had a burden. I just thought it was simply manipulating others. No wonder Wooming said she knew her body. I'm so angry. I must execute Takusase. Orochimaru is still the best. Orochimaru's image in my mind has been infinitely elevated. His personality charm is off the charts, his strength is strong, and he seems to know a lot of scientific research knowledge. Orochimaru's departure from Konoha is definitely a loss for Konoha. How much scientific researchers can do is obvious to all. On screen Boruto looked down at his hands, blaming himself, but even so, I still kept wondering if there was any way to save her. So my mind was in a mess and I couldn't focus on anything. I'm so useless, Boruto. After whispering softly, Sarada changed the subject and said, Boruto, it's been a while since the three of us played Ninja Heroes together. Let's play. From your looks, you probably haven't been up there lately, right? Let's play together, maybe it will help change our mood. But, before he could continue, Sarada said, just playing your favorite game will help you relax a little. After that, she looked at Mitsuki, right? Mitsuki is also okay, right? Mitsuki nodded, yes, that's it, let's meet in the game later. See you later. After saying that, Sarada turned around and ran away, as if she was afraid that Boruto would refuse. So tough. Mitsuki looked at him and said, Sarada is also worried about you, I know. Ninja Hero, screen turn in game. Boruto, using Naruto's appearance, quietly looked at the place where Wooming used to stay. At this moment, there is no one here. Chapter 336 Changing History. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Boruto recalled Wooming's previous appearance. In his mind the memories were shattered, and at this moment it seemed as if countless fragments pierced into his heart. Ninja World. This is too heartbreaking. Dear screen, do you want to kill me? I am most afraid of being reminded of something I don't like. Even if I just look at other people, I feel like I'm suffocating. Woo woo woo, your uncles Meru and Tekuse's brother too. I understand you now. I also want to create a world of light. On screen Boruto murmured, it's been a long time since I came here. He looked around and whispered in disappointment, it can't be here. Where are those two people? Maybe they haven't arrived yet. At this moment, a ball of light appeared in front of Boruto. Sharon's voice came out. Boruto, Tonari, Sharon, I have something to tell you. Come to the gathering. I have already called your two companions. Boruto is puzzled. You have something to say? What is it? Let's talk when you come. I'll wait for you. As soon as he finished speaking, the ball of light in front of Boruto disappeared. Gathering time gap. Sarada saw Boruto coming and greeted him. Boruto walked closer, looked at Tonari and asked, so what do you want to say? Sharon said, first of all, you successfully resolved the incident in this world. You did a great job. Boruto lowered his head. I don't think this is a smooth solution. Sharon, I understand why you are distressed. That is why I have been maintaining this space. Hearing Boruto's words, many people in the ninja world were stunned. Sharon's meaning is, could it be possible that he could revive Guang? Yet, Tonari is an Akatsuki. It shouldn't be difficult for him to revive someone, right? The ninja world is in crisis, and Tonari will guide others to save it. Now he has to solve the regrets left by Light. He must be a super good person. Moon Sharon, who was given a nice guy card, sneezed. Strange, are you catching a cold? No. Who is scolding me? Che, I really have a cold. Sharon rubbed his nose with a complicated look in his eyes. It seems that my future self has made a choice, but what I didn't expect was that I would do so much for the ninja world. Fire Nation Muai Village Hokage Building. Fugaku drummed his index finger on the table. Shikaku rubbed his chin. It seems that after being defeated by Naruto, Tonari's view on the ninja world has changed. Fortunately, we saw this video in advance, otherwise we would have to nip this danger in the bud. This is good news for the ninja world. Uchiha Clanland. Future Sasuke looked at the expectation on little Sasuke's face, his eyes somewhat deep. On screen Boruto asked, what do you mean? Sarada explained on behalf of Tonari, originally, this space should have disappeared when Wuming died. Now it is preserved thanks to Tonari's power, eh? Is that so? Mitsuki also said, most people don't know about this, and they all think that it was Kaminari Enterprises that took over the game development. Sarada said, there's nothing we can do about this, right? They have no idea that Tonari is involved, Sharon said. Let's get back to the point. I maintain this space because I want to cause a miracle. Only this space can do it. It can be said to be a taboo method. Boruto, it sounds incredible. What exactly do you want to do? Sharon slowly uttered 4 words, interfering with history. Boruto. Interfering with history, Tonari explained, that's right. What you did before was to trace the past and prompt Naruto to recover his memory. There were restrictions at that time, and you could not interfere with the development of the past, but I'm talking about being able to interfere. In other words, you will be able to change the past of others. Boruto and Sarada were surprised. Sarada, but that kind of thing, Sharon, under normal circumstances, history can never be interfered with, but if 3 special conditions are met, it is possible to create this possibility in a very short period of time. Sarada asked, what are the 3 conditions? Sharon, first, we must start from an unstable space, a space that can even manipulate the laws of time. Sarada, law of time, space, Mitsuki, so he's a ninja hero, right? Sharon, that's right, this space was created by Tsukuyomi, so the passage of time is quite ambiguous, and it is easy to connect to the past. Second, it is the night of the full moon. To open up time and space, you must use the power of the dragon veins flowing on the ground. The full moon night is when the dragon vein power is most active. If you want to fully use this power, timing is very important. Sarada, the next full moon is, Sharon, tomorrow, he continued. Then the last one, there must be an item that represents the connection between people in the present world and people in the past. This item must be mixed with the chakra of both parties, which will attract the 2 people to each other. Sarada, this is too difficult, isn't it? Living in different eras and mixing our chakras, this is hard to imagine. Sharon, that's right. Under normal circumstances, it is impossible. That's why I said interfering with history is impossible, but, without that item, I won't be able to locate myself in the cracks of time and space, and will just wander around forever. Boruto, you should understand what I mean. There are items in this world that connect you and her. Sarada turned to look at Boruto. Huh? Really? Boruto, Tonari continued, now the first two conditions have almost been met. As long as the last one is met, we can return to the distant era of Uchiha Mumei, and the salvation you hope for may be achieved. Fire Nation Muai Village Hokage Building Shikaku side. Is this the method of the Akatsuki? Even something like this can be done. But isn't this too much? That would change history. Pure Land Madara murmured softly. Change history? If I become the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, I wonder if it's possible. If you can. Madara shook his head. Infinite Tsukuyomi is enough. There's no need to go back to the past and make up for anything. Izuna looked like he had seen the world. Amazing. If I could go back in time. Izuna clenched her fists, her eyes full of dissatisfaction. If it happens again, the one who dies will definitely be Senju Tobirama. Tobirama sneezed. Damn you, Mata. What evil thoughts are you having? After saying this, he quickly added another sentence, as if he was afraid that he had scolded the wrong person. Evil Uchiha Izuna. Chapter 337 Choice. On screen Sarada exclaimed, that's amazing, but what does the distant era mean? Sharon explained, it literally means a time long ago. That is the Warring States period when Wuming lived. Sarada, eh? But, if that's the case, Boruto looked up at Tonari. This is also possible. Boruto? Boruto said, helping the nameless of that era is the best choice. Right? Tonari, Sharon, the Warring States period was the time when the nameless personality was formed. This was also the point where her fate diverged. Boruto murmured, as long as I can save Wuming at that time. Sharon said to him, tomorrow night. If you want to change Wuming's past, bring something related to her tomorrow night. Good. Ninja World Sharon, are you omnipotent? I don't even dare to think about changing history. I still can't believe this is real. There's no reason for Tonari to lie to Boruto. He has done so much for the ninja world. Why would he lie to Boruto? So this must be true. Save the nameless from the Warring States period. Tonari, I unilaterally declare you the most handsome man in the entire ninja world. Next to you is me and Minato, arigato. Tonari-kun. You are such a good man. On screen, the next day, Boruto walked out of the house. Sarada and Mitsuki were already waiting outside. So now it is? Why are you all here? Sarada put her hands on her hips. We were worried that you might forget. How is this possible? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that might save Wuming. Mitsuki, but, does what Tonari said really exist? Boruto said, it's true. Wuming gave me something, so I have to get it back. Screen-turned sunflower with a head of aho hair looked at Boruto. Necklace. Boruto felt a little embarrassed. I'm really sorry, can you give it back to my brother? Sarada looked at Boruto and asked, what's going on? Is Ioki's necklace the one that Wuming gave you? Boruto, yes. This is the treasure she gave me before she died. Looking at the pyroxene held in Sunflower's hands, Sarada asked, is the stone in this necklace the pyroxene of the two of you? Boruto explained, because I didn't get the necklace I promised, I took this as a substitute and put the stone with Ioki. Mitsuki said, I see. That is indeed the best item to connect the two of you. Boruto smiled. Right. Sunflower took off the pyroxene hanging around her neck and held it in both hands to Boruto. Here you go. Zyokui, is it okay? Sunflower said obediently. Brother has been in a bad mood recently. But today, brother seems to be very happy. I don't know what you want to do, brother. I will support you. Looking at his sister who was smiling happily, Boruto took the pyroxene and patted her head with a smile. Brother will do his best. Thank you. Sunflower, Ninja World, I really envy Boruto for having such a lovely sister. Tisk tisk. With such a good daughter, Naruto will be heartbroken when she gets married in the future. Right, I understand. I will bring my son to Naruto's house to propose marriage in the future. On screen Boruto put on his gaming equipment. Okay. I'm ready. Screen turn gathering time gap. Boruto looked at the three people. Oh, you are all here? Sarada, yes, because I really care about it. Sharon, did you get the thing that connected you to Wuming? Boruto responded. Tonari, now all the conditions are met. Next, I will create a door to the past based on the environment of the ninja hero. And use the dragon vein to open that door, then use you and the nameless pyroxene to send you to the nameless past. Mitsuki said, all I have to do next is save Wuming in that era. Sarada continued, everything can be solved perfectly. Boruto nodded, and then seemed to realize something, looked at Tonari and asked, Tonari, what's wrong with you? Sharon, there is one last thing, a major decision that must be made before interfering with history. Sarada, choice. Boruto said, "It has come to this, what choice do I have to make?" Sharon explained, "Suppose you interfere with history and successfully resolve Wuming's past dilemma." Boruto nodded, "Yes, that's why I went there, Tonari, but, when you save Wuming, the previous series of events related to Zero's rebellion will also disappear." Boruto, Sarada, huh? Sharon continued, "Zero's rebellion was all based on Wuming. But if you had saved Wuming and pushed her toward a life without the seal, Wuming would not have appeared in the modern era. Without the key of Wuming, Zero will not be able to start a rebellion. That means Zero's rebellion will disappear. Your active performance in the incident will also disappear, including the pursuit of your father's past." Mitsuki seemed to have thought of something and said, "Also, if Zero's rebellion disappears, another very important thing will also disappear, Ninja World. So after saving Mumei, Boruto will forget even the things he saw his father go through in his life." I roughly know what Mitsuki is talking about. The memories related to Wuming. I can't save you if I want to remember you, and I can't remember you if I want to save you. What a difficult choice. Thinking of the title, I roughly know Boruto's choice. Divine Space. If Boruto succeeds in saving Wuming, Wuming will not be sealed somewhere in the ninja world because of the live broadcast. This ninja world cannot be linked to the ninja world on the screen, near water country. So, in the future of this ninja world, there will be no Boruto saving Mumei. On screen Boruto and Sarada looked at him. Mitsuki said, "You will know if you think in chronological order. We know Wuming because of Ninja Hero. Ninja Hero is the space created by Wuming to promote Zero's plan. Their plans are all planned with Wuming's ability. If Zero's plan cannot be implemented, there will be no Ninja Hero." In other words, Boruto continued, "That means the connection with Wuming will disappear. Is that what you want to say?" Mitsuki, Sarada, "How could it be?" Sharon, "You must make a choice. Do you want to continue living with a connection with Wuming, or go back to the past to save Wuming even if the connection will disappear?" Boruto said decisively, "There is no need to worry about this kind of thing. No need to worry." Boruto smiled and said firmly, "From the beginning I had no second choice. I must save Wuming no matter what." If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 338 Destiny. Sharon asked, "Even if everything that has happened so far will disappear?" Boruto nodded, "Well, I don't care. As long as Wuming can be saved." Sharon asked again, "Even if your connection with Wuming will disappear, will you go back to the past for her?" Boruto put his hands on his hips and nodded again, "Yes. That's right. Besides, the connection that was once established won't disappear so easily. I will never forget Wuming. Even if I really forget Wuming, the most important things will still remain in my heart. That's what I think. This is my answer. In order to save Wuming, I have to go back to the past." Sharon, "You didn't have any other choice from the beginning. It seems you have already made up your mind. You are really strong." Boruto turned around, "Then I'm going to leave." Sarada. Mitsuki looked at him and said, "Just like what you did to me, your light will definitely shine on her. You will definitely succeed." Sarada said helplessly, "It's probably no use telling you to stop messing around. So, then," she encouraged, "do what you want to do according to your ideas." Sharon opened his hands, and the pyroxene necklace appeared in front of him. The door leading to the distant past with a law as the price, and the dragon vein as the origin accompanied by the road sign on the other side. Having said this, he made the yin seal with his hands at this moment, show the miracle of the moment. As he finished his words, the pyroxene necklace merged into the closed door. The door slowly opened. Sharon said, "Enter this door and you will reach the past world. Pyroxene will lead you to the vicinity of Wuming. After that, it is up to you." Boruto responded, "I know." Sharon warned, "You can stay in the past only until the sun rises tomorrow. When the morning comes, you will be forced to return to the present. Save Wuming before then." Boruto looked at him, "Tonari, thank you for everything so far. I will definitely succeed." Sharon chuckled, "If you want to thank me, wait until you succeed." Boruto responded and walked towards the door. "Wuming, wait for me. I didn't have time to tell you that time. This time I will definitely." Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Boruto lowered his head and whispered, "When I succeed on the screen, I may not remember you. Tonari, thank you for everything you have done for me and the ninja world." Tonari, This time, he won't forget. Kage building Fugaku nodded and said, Boruto's thanks are well deserved. In fact, all of us in the ninja world should thank him. Without him, the ninja world would have been completely plunged into war. Ninja world Tonari is so kind. He contributes to the ninja world without asking for anything in return. If Boruto had saved Mumei and returned to reality, no one would have remembered Tonari's contribution to the ninja world. Fortunately, there is a live broadcast that allows us all to remember Akatsuki Tonari. Boruto, can he really do it alone? He looks only 12 or 13 years old. On screen this time, the figure's rapid fall did not cause Boruto to scream. There was only determination in Boruto's eyes. Boom, Boruto's body hit the ground. He cried out in pain. It hurts. He struggled to sit up and scratch the back of his head. This is the past. I remember that pyroxene will lead me to the vicinity of Wuming. In that case, that place should be suspicious. Please wait for me. Screen turned Boruto head in the open, observing the situation in the Uchiha clan camp. What should I do next? We must find Wuming from here. Inside the camp the 6 Uchiha gathered together. Dongho's younger brother died. This is the 5th person. Damn it, those bastards of Senju. Tomorrow I will make them bleed like a river. Prepare for anonymity. Yes, outside Boruto thought to himself. Just now he said Wuming. How lucky. If we just follow those people, we might find it soon. A moment later, a knife was placed on his neck. The Uchiha clan member behind him asked, Who are you, Boruto? Huh? The 6 Uchiha clan members in the camp all showed their Sharingan and looked in Boruto's direction. Boruto, oh no, the Uchiha clan member asked, I am asking who you are. Boruto raised his hands awkwardly, and slowly stood up, a drop of sweat sliding down his face. How should I put it? I'm a fan of the Uchiha clan, right? The next moment, Boruto was knocked unconscious. The Uchiha clan members gathered around. Who is he? I don't know, but I feel like he's not an ordinary person. Maybe he's a spy. I'll investigate him more carefully later. Put him in jail. Yes, others prepare for tomorrow's battle. Ninja world, what a far-fetched reason. Even though the situation is terrible, what should I do if I really want to laugh? No problem. Boruto is Naruto's son. He has admired Sasuke since he was a child. He has a good relationship with Sarada. What's wrong with saying he is a fan of Uchiha? We only had one day, and right at the beginning we were captured by the Uchiha clan. Fire Nation Muai Village Uchiha clan land. Uchiha Tihiro clasped his hands together and prayed, I hope nothing will happen to you, Uchiha fan. Uchiha Yoshiro said excitedly, maybe Boruto will be locked up with Wuming. This is what Mr. Kai calls youth. On screen Boruto slowly opened his eyes and stood up with difficulty. This is, he looked at the iron railings in front of him that were covered with talisman paper cell. I was caught by those guys. I can't waste any more time here. Just as his hand was about to touch the iron railing, a voice came from behind him. Do you want to die, Ninja World? Wuming, this is Wuming's voice. That's right, what kind of luck is this? Can you give me some, good fellow? He was initially considered a spy but was not executed directly. He was imprisoned in the same cell as Wuming. Perhaps, this is fate. On screen Boruto was startled and his hand accidentally touched the iron railing covered with talisman paper. It's so hot. What? The iron railings can actually burn. Muttering something, Boruto turned around and saw a girl who was on her knees with her face buried in her arms. Thank you. If you hadn't called me, I would have turned into charcoal. I didn't expect there were other people here. Were you captured by them as well? We are so unlucky. Boruto came and squatted in front of the girl. But this is just right. It might be weird to ask someone you just met. I'm looking for someone. I don't know if you know her, but she's from the Uchiha clan. Are you listening? Wuming raised his head a little, revealing his eyes. I don't need to know. It has nothing to do with me. Chapter 339 Stupid Things. You. Boruto grabbed her shoulders and said excitedly, could it be Wuming? Wuming said calmly, so what? Boruto looked surprised. We meet. So you're in a place like this. This must be fate, but it's so nice. It's so nice to see you. Okay. The first goal is accomplished. The next step is to escape from here with you. Wuming said nothing and buried his face in his arms. What's the matter? You think you can do it? Don't worry. It's just a cell. I can destroy it with my ninjutsu. After hearing Boruto's words, Wuming finally spoke. Just go out alone, Boruto? Huh? Wuming explained, I am a weapon. I was born to fight for my clan. Use ninjutsu as instructed and destroy the enemy. I won't cry, I won't waver, I won't run away. I'll just let you endure the pain until I die, until there is an order. Stay in the cell and don't leave even if there is an emergency. This is my mission. I must obey. Boruto crouched down in front of Wu Ming. No. You shouldn't live in such a dark and damp place, and you are not born only for fighting. You must walk your own path. As he said this, Boruto grabbed Wu Ming's wrist. Wu Ming raised his head a little. Boruto suddenly saw the black mark on Wu Ming's arm and was stunned for a moment. He gritted his teeth, his anger barely concealed in his tone. I cannot forgive, doing this to Wu Ming. Ninja world, it's so miserable. I really want to comfort her, but I also really want to curse at the Uchiha in front of her. The more I watch, the more I understand Wu Ming's thoughts. How ironic. This is someone who shares the same bloodline with them, and because he has awakened his abilities, he imprisoned him and used him as a weapon in war. If Guang's parents were still alive, I wonder how they would feel seeing her like this. By the way, Hikaru's parents also died in battle for their clan, right? Uchiha treats the children of fallen martyrs like this? It's really assholes. On screen he will definitely set you free. As he said that, Boruto stood up suddenly and a Rasengan appeared in his hand. But before he could slap the iron railing covered with talismans, the Rasengan suddenly disappeared. Boruto looked at his palm. I don't know what the mechanism here is, but even ninjutsu can be sealed. Boruto looked around and then back at Wu Ming, who had his face buried in his arms. She has been, alone, locked up in a place like this. Thinking of this, his eyes became more determined and he walked towards the railing. When he reached the front, Boruto grabbed the railing without any hesitation. Break through with force. Flames appeared where he was holding the railing and quickly engulfed his arm. Boruto gritted his teeth but still didn't let go. Hearing the voice, Wu Ming raised his head and looked at Boruto's back with a shocked look on his face. Boruto used both hands to hold back the severe pain and growled, "Asshole." Wu Ming said, "It is better not to do anything stupid. This is not a stupid thing. Besides, no matter what happens, as long as you don't give up, you can open up a path. My dad is the same. He forged his own path just like this." Boruto's mind flashed with the images of Naruto, Sasuke, and Wu Ming's death. Me too. I will never give up. That's why I came here. Stop it now. I have given up. I am like this. Boruto still held the flaming railing tightly with both hands. Don't lose to the fate that others have decided for you. Decide it yourself. Create it yourself. Having said this, he pulled the railings hard to both sides. This is your destiny. Wu Ming opened his mouth slightly and stared blankly at Boruto's back. Boruto, whose sleeves were burned and arms were covered with burn marks, let go of his hands and stumbled back. Boruto turned around and looked at Wu Ming. Your place of refuge is not here. Ninja world, it hurts just looking at it. Without the ability to use ninjutsu, even an adult wouldn't be able to pry open the flaming iron bars with bare hands like Boruto. Although I don't know how difficult it is to break the iron railing, I know it almost after seeing Wu Ming's shocked expression. Boruto is indeed not an ordinary person. His sleeves are burned off, but the injury doesn't look very serious. Fire Nation Muai Village. Boruto pursed his lips. Wu Ming, I no longer have the courage to escape or resist. Wu Ming is really pitiful now on screen. Why, someone like me? Before Wu Ming could finish his words, he heard the voice of an Uchiha clan member not far away. What was that sound just now, coming from the sealed prison? Damn it. I was discovered. Boruto came in front of Wu Ming and stretched out his hand to her. I want to escape. Wu Ming still had that dazed look on his face. The voice of the Uchiha clan came again. Has the seal been lifted? Who is it? Could it be Senju? So their target is Wu Ming. Don't let Wu Ming escape. We must catch her back. Listening to the voice coming from his ear, Wu Ming lowered his head. Boruto raised his hand and said to her, as long as you leave here, you won't be used by others. But, Boruto said firmly, don't worry. I will send you to a safe place even if I die. Wu Ming. Believe me. Wu Ming was stunned, hesitated for a moment, and then slowly stretched out his hand. Her hand paused in midair, and then without hesitation, she held Boruto's hand. Let's go. Boruto pulled her and ran outside. Uchiha clan member, damn it. He ran away. Look for her quickly. She shouldn't be far away. The other side. After running for an unknown amount of time, Boruto pushed Wu Ming into the bushes and dodged in another direction, avoiding the shurikens thrown by the Uchiha clan members. Hateful. The three Uchiha clan members looked at Boruto in front of them. You were at that time. How dare you look down on us, you little brat. Where's Wu Ming? In the bushes. Wu Ming quietly raised his head, looked at Boruto and said to the three people, who knows, she and I ran away separately. How would I know where she went? The leading Uchiha clan member said, someone saw you two running away together. so it's useless even if you want to protect her. Boruto spread his hands. We separated halfway. She is not here, the Uchiha clan member said. Hiding the truth will do you no good. Everyone said I don't know. The Uchiha clan member chuckled. This kid is really brave, but you joke too much with adults. Chapter 340. The name of the story. Boruto clenched his fists. Even if I knew where she was, I wouldn't tell you. If you caught her, she would be in trouble, the Uchiha clan member said. That is not a misfortune. The meaning of her existence is to bring us victory. Fighting for the clan is what makes a ninja. Ninja world. This self-righteous look is really infuriating. Why do they define the meaning of their own people's existence so casually? They are just looking for excuses for their shameless bullying of children. In their eyes, Wuming is not even a human, let alone a ninja. That era itself was like that. Rather than saying that Wuming's experience was unfortunate, it's better to say that Wuming was unfortunate to be born in that bad era. On screen you just use her as a weapon. What ninja? Hearing Boruto's angry question, the Uchiha clan member said calmly, oh. You know it very well. This is the fate of being born in this era. People who fight as ninjas and people who are used as weapons. This symbiotic relationship will make the clan stronger. Boruto, does this mean I have to mess up someone's life? This is the Warring States period. Boruto looked at the three people in fighting stances and said, I will never let you do this. I won't let her go through such a painful thing again. The Uchiha leader said to the tribesmen beside him, show him a little color. Make him confess Wuming's hiding place and his 8 generations of ancestors. Screen turn. Boruto was kicked away by the Uchiha clan member. He struggled to stand up, gasping for breath. Every blow is powerful. This is the Warring States period. Thinking about this, Boruto wiped the corner of his mouth with the back of his hand. That guy, should he have escaped? Far away Wuming walked step by step with difficulty to a big tree. Suddenly, a loud noise was heard not far behind. Wuming looked back. That person, I just wanted to help me on a whim. It was just by chance, helping me. No more goodwill. No more bad will, so I just need to run away. There is no kindness in this world. Ninja world. Alice, there are not so many coincidences in this world. That's true, actually. In the Warring States period, what kindness could we expect? I feel like the era of Madara and Hashirama was actually relatively good. It gets more cruel as time goes on. Boruto is in a desperate situation. I didn't expect Boruto to be able to withstand 3 Uchiha ninjas from the Warring States period. I bet Wuming will go back for Boruto. On screen, boom boom boom. There was an explosion in the forest. Boruto ran quickly. The Uchiha were in hot pursuit. Finally, in an open space, Boruto was surrounded by 3 Uchiha members. Is it time to surrender? Boruto straightened up and wiped the corner of his mouth with his hand. It's not over yet, the Uchiha clan member said. I think so. Although the time is not long, I can see that you are an excellent ninja. To show my respect, I will fight you seriously. The words fell. The 3 Uchiha ninjas jumped into the air together and formed seals with their hands. Fire escape, the art of the Phoenix Array. Boruto gritted his teeth as he looked at the small fireballs flying towards him. Damn it. Is this the end? But as long as Wuming can escape, thinking of this, he had given up resisting and slowly closed his eyes. The sound of fast-running footsteps was heard. Wuming arrived in time and used the Mangekyo pupil technique. Amaterasu, a tornado-like black flame appeared around Boruto, protecting him. Boom! The fangs and fire used by the 3 Uchiha clan members was burned to ashes by Amaterasu. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga clan. Boruto covered his head. Ah! This idiot! Somewhere in the ninja world a smile appeared on Jiraiya's lips. The choice of light was not unexpected to me at all. After all, Boruto risked his life to save her. The name of this story is The Light of the Sun. If Hikari hadn't gone back, Boruto might have died at the hands of the Uchiha clan. In that case, even if Hikari escaped, it wouldn't match the name of the story on screen. The 3 Uchiha were shocked. Amaterasu, Wuming came out. Seeing her, Boruto couldn't help but exclaimed, Wumi, the leading Uchiha clan member said. As expected, it is here. Boruto came to Wuming and said anxiously, why? You could just run away while I'm fighting. I have no idea. I myself don't know, but whether it was by chance, or just a whim, so far, no one has ever helped me. And, before she could finish her words, she was interrupted by the Uchiha clan member, Wumi. You know what will happen if you resist us, right? Wuming stepped back in fear. This time I calmed down. She was still scared. The Uchiha clan member continued, the punishment for betraying the clan is very severe. Are you sure, me? Wuming looked pitiful, weak and helpless. Boruto turned to look at the 3 people. Stop talking nonsense. This Wu-Ming is no longer the Uchiha Wu-Ming you know. No one ordered her to come back, she came back voluntarily. As he spoke, he pointed at the three people, and this is not to surrender to you, but to forge my own path. Looking at Boruto's back, Wu-Ming's eyes widened a little, and she recalled what Boruto said to her in the prison. Wu-Ming closed his eyes when he opened his eyes again. A kaleidoscope shape appeared in his eyes. She walked up to Boruto, and when she looked at the three Uchiha clan members, she no longer had the fear she had before, but instead had a hint of coldness. That's right. If my destiny is determined and created by myself, having said that, she looked at Boruto, then I decide to fight with you. We just met. Why do your words make me feel so warm? Even now I don't understand, but, of all the people I have met so far, you are the most special. Your words are different. I don't know why I feel this way, so, now, I can fight for my destiny. Boruto, you? Wu-Ming stretched out his hand towards him. Stretch out your hand. Boruto responded, his lips curled up slightly, and he held Wu-Ming's hand. Next moment a huge amount of chakra spread from the two of them. Chapter 341 Uchiha Light. The three Uchiha tribes were facing a formidable enemy. Boruto looked at his hand. Is this the 8,000 spears? Wu-Ming, I gave you all the chakra I collected. Can you still fight? Of course, I will definitely win, the Uchiha clan member said solemnly. I didn't expect to become an enemy of Wu-Ming. It's tricky, but we can't let her escape. Boruto, bathed in chakra, said, this is the final battle, let's go. Screen turned. The three Uchiha were defeated. I didn't expect to be attacked by that kind of brat. After saying this, he could no longer hold on and fainted. Ninja World. To be honest, 8,000 spears abilities are indeed very suitable for use as tools, but it would be even better if they were voluntary. If nothing unexpected happens, this time Wu-Ming will be able to completely break away from the Uchiha. That's great. Can Boruto take Wu-Ming away? If not, then, on screen they ran for an unknown amount of time until the sky started to lighten, and then they stopped. Boruto took a few breaths. It should be okay if we escape here. Wu-Ming looked at the green smoke rising in the distance. I can't believe it. Did I really escape? Right. This way you will. Boruto looked at her. You are free, Wu-Ming murmured. Freedom. At this time, the sun gradually rose, and for a moment, it seemed that several golden rays of light were pouring down on the two of them. Boruto, who had a relaxed look on his face, couldn't help but be stunned when he saw the white light coming out of his body and his body gradually becoming transparent. Then, he laughed carefreely. This is the best I can do. Wu-Ming seemed to notice something unusual and turned to look at Boruto. Huh? Won't you come with me? Boruto looked at his hands. I'm sorry, for some reasons, I can't go with you. Wu-Ming looked at him and asked, Who are you? I can't tell you too much detail, anyway. I always want you to be free. Why? Why would you go to this extent for someone like me? Boruto looked into her eyes seriously and said, To me, you are not a cheap relationship of someone like me. You are very important to me, a friend. So, I want to help you, even if it means risking my life. There seemed to be light emerging in Wu-Ming's eyes. In memory, the prison was surrounded by Uchiha clan members. This is the new weapon. Who's that person? You can't talk to her. It's dangerous. I heard that she can kill people without changing her expression. I think the top management will make good use of it anyway. Memories stop here. Wu-Ming closed his eyes and tears overflowed from his eyes when she opened her eyes again. Boruto's appearance was reflected in her pupils. Boruto scratched his face with his index finger. But for you now, you probably don't understand what I'm talking about. Then he put his finger down. But to me, you are you. That will never change. So, Wu-Ming rested his forehead against Boruto's chest. Oh, what's wrong? Boruto asked softly. The tears in Wu-Ming's eyes could no longer be controlled and slid down his cheeks. I have always been alone, stay in the dark place forever. Everyone doesn't even treat me as a human being. I have always believed that. No one is my partner, but there is someone here who came to save me, not by chance, nor on impulse, but on purpose. The person who is willing to treat me as a friend is right here. Wu-Ming grabbed Boruto's arm. I am able to survive until now. This is really great. She wiped away her tears with her other hand. Thank you for saving me. At this point, she looked up, her cheeks flushed. Gives me freedom. Thank you. Boruto looked at her and chuckled. Ninja World, I'm so touched. The more I listen to Wu-Ming's words, the more I can't help but feel pity for him. For Hikari, Boruto is the real light. No matter who Wu-Ming is, Boruto should be the most special and important person in her heart. I'm so adorable in women's clothing. I seem to have seen what Wooming will look like when he grows up. Why don't you hug her? What are you standing there for? That evil Uzumaki brat with a doting look on his face. I'm talking to you. On screen Boruto's body is becoming more and more transparent. Ah damn it. Is the time already up, huh? What? Although I am reluctant, I have to say goodbye to you. But there is one thing I must tell you at the end. Boruto put his hands on Wooming's shoulders, looked into her eyes and said, listen carefully, you are no longer Wooming, Light. You are Uchiha Light. This is the real name your father and mother gave you. You have to live in a new place. Under the sun. He loosened his hand and took 2 steps back, then. I hope you can understand, the ninja world is not just full of pain. Wait. Hikaru hurried forward and grabbed Boruto's arm. No. Don't go. I know nothing about you. I don't even know your name, in this case. I can't do anything, I am Uzumaki Boruto. Remember, even if we break up, we will always be friends. You will never be alone. Don't forget. I will always cheer for you, Boruto. The tears that Gwang had finally stopped began to flow again. She tried to grab Boruto's arm again, but missed. No. Don't leave. Boruto. Gwang stretched out his hand and looked at the light floating in the air with tears in his eyes. Boruto's last words were heard in midair. You must be happy. Uchiha Hikaru, Boruto, Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. The young version of Naruto and the transgender version of Sasuke did not end up together. Neji looked at Boruto with a complicated expression. What a pity. Hinata wiped away her tears in Boruto's eyes. He saw the figure collapsed on the ground, covering his eyes with his hands. Boruto shook his head. It's better than before. Moreover, time will fade everything. Uchiha Hikaru, you will definitely be happy in the future ninja world. Boruto left, and Ikari is alone again. From then on, she was no longer the numb nameless person, but the light of the sun. If they grow up to look like Madara and Naruto in female costumes. I support this marriage. There aren't many perfect things in the world. This ending is actually pretty good. I can understand Gwang's feelings at this moment. It's like a broken heart. Alice, I also broke up today. I didn't dare to tell my wife, so I could only bear all the pain silently by myself. Chapter 342. New version of Wujiapo. On screen Boruto, who was lying on his bed, opened his eyes. Is it morning yet? For some reason, he sighed inexplicably, very baffling. Then a smile appeared on Boruto's face. There is a mission today. Having said that, he stood up and left a house full of energy. The gaming equipment that had always been placed in front of the computer has disappeared. The other side, inside the Hokage building, there was a knock on the office door. Shikamaru said, I'm going in. Naruto looked at Shikamaru in confusion. Shikamaru explained, the meeting is ready. It's almost time to start. Is the time up already? Shikamaru looked at the scroll in Naruto's hand and asked curiously, what are you looking at? Naruto explained, a while ago, a new scroll was discovered in the library. The content inside is quite rare, focusing on unknown events in the Warring States period, so it's something like this. Then why would they ask you to look at it? Because there are few sentences at the end that are of particular concern to me. So they gave it to me. What is it? I'll show you later. I have no idea why he was mentioned. The scene shifts to the desk. On the unfolded scroll was written, this scroll records a woman in the Warring States period who escaped from the blood cage of the Uchiha clan and made her own way in the world. This woman was once born as a weapon, but on a full moon night, she made up her mind to leave the clan. From that time on, I changed my name and started a new life. She has become a free person, no longer being used by others to fight. She lives a peaceful life in a simple and sunny place, coexisting with the grass and trees, swaying with the river, surrounded by people carefully savoring ordinary life. She hardly ever talked about the past. But there was one thing she would tell others with great joy. Finally, this record ends with some excerpts of anecdotes and her last words. Screen turn. Uchiha Hikaru stood on the grass. There is a blue sky above my head. I was used as a weapon in the past and lived an inhuman life. In this eternal darkness, a young ninja suddenly appeared and told me what destiny is. His words of encouragement will always warm my heart. Since then, I have never seen him again. I don't know where he came from, so I believe that the joy of walking on my own destiny and the gratitude for happiness will be conveyed to him one day. I place my thoughts on the sunshine. Please, convey this to my most important friend, Uzumaki Boruto. That's the end of the story. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Boruto breathed a sigh of relief. Being able to see you happy means that all the efforts I made on the screen were worth it, but for some reason, when he saw the story end like this, he felt inexplicably sad. Hokage building Fugaku let out a long breath. Although it's not very convenient to be lived now, the most important thing now is to find the place where the light is sealed. We must not let her be used by someone with ulterior motives. This kind-hearted person is, for example. Obito Shikaku also understood this. He nodded seriously and said, the location should be in the Land of Fire. I will mobilize the ninjas of Konoha village to look for it. The Anbu and security forces will also go with us. Ninja World. Is this the end of the story? I feel a little reluctant. I feel empty inside. I really want to watch it again. Well, it's not because of the light, but simply because I want to read the story. I don't know if all the portraits will be sold out after this live broadcast. If so, I'll buy one no matter how much it costs. After watching Towards the Sun, I really like it. It's a proud, tough, cute, powerful, and yet it makes people feel pity for it. At this moment, a burst of passionate electronic music suddenly sounded on the screen. Pure Land. Izuna, who was originally in a depressed mood, narrowed her eyes and looked at Senju Tobirama on the screen. Next moment, Tobirama on the screen picked up the microphone following the DJ's beat. He spoke, recalling the constant wars in the past, in the Pure Land. As soon as he opened his mouth, Izuna's mind was full of question marks. Tobirama. Hoshirama's eyes suddenly widened. This is definitely Tobirama's voice. When did Tobirama sing? He looked incredulous. Tobirama can actually speak foreign languages? Madara couldn't help but laugh. You know, a unique skill. Tobirama Senju, Fire Nation Muai Village Uchiha Clan Land. Hey. The second generation is in a very elegant mood. Sing a song? Is this a gift to Uchiha for becoming Hokage? Tisk tisk. Then I'll thank the second dame here. Don't stop me. I'm going to start shaking my legs. On screen, Uchiha Madara and Hoshirama, in the Pure Land spotted face, took a step forward. Senju Tobirama, you bastard made up a song in a language I don't understand to humiliate me? You even spared your elder brother? If it weren't for the subtitles on the screen, I wouldn't understand the lyrics even if I knew about this. Damn Senju Tobirama. Hoshirama's face turned red with anger. Tobirama, you're going too far. How could you program my friendship with Madara like this? The corners of Tobirama's mouth twitched wildly. Ninja World. Great words. Deserve a reward? It touched my heart. It's exactly what I was thinking. It's so rare to have a close friend in life. This line expresses the longing of an 80-year-old bachelor for another 80-year-old widow. You put your heart into it, Tobirama. Fire Nation Muai Village Uchiha Clan Land. He looked at little Sasuke beside him and clapped softly. Future Sasuke. On screen, Wood Release sent down a small round fan, and my elder brother rewarded me by giving me protection. Uchiha rebelled. My brother fought on the front line, forcing me and Izumi to fight, breaking up the Mandarin Ducks and going our separate ways. Rain Country. Naruto swung his little feet from time to time, tapping the beat leisurely. In contrast, Izuna's facial features in the Pure Land were wrinkled and distorted. Tobirama was silent. Madara took a deep breath and calmed himself down. You like to sing, right? Don't let me catch you, you bastard. Senju Tobirama. Otherwise I'll make you sing to your heart's content. On screen, Fireball Water Dragon. Later, I used the Flying Thunder God slash in front of me. At that moment, Izuna saw the blood and threw away the sword. Only then did she realize that her brother was being tortured. My brother Senju Hoshirama, I pity you for having to play around. I pity you for stumbling. I just want to keep this fan and build a ninja village with you. My friend Uchiha Izuna, it's a pity that I fought with you, but I didn't know that my brother was tied to me. It made Uchiha Madara suffer. He felt pain in his heart after losing his brother. You left me, your brother, alone to grow old and lonely. It's a pity that our two families would fight to the death when they meet, just to avenge their feud. Chapter 343. Learning the Rasengan. Pure Land. Tobirama had given up resisting. He looked up at the sky, feeling bitter in his heart that no one understood at this moment. He wished he had no acquaintances in this ninja world. Izuna looked disgusted. Who is your friend? Are you a friend who fights as soon as they meet and has been fighting since childhood? Humph. Even if you really consider me a friend, I have never considered you a friend. Senju Tobirama. Hoshirama was puzzled. So this is what Tobirama really thinks? He has always considered Izuna a friend. This kid hides it very well. You can't see it at all normally. Ninja World. Tobirama is in such a good mood. So good mood, it's so good. Why is it over now? I have to admit, Tobirama sings very beautifully. Tobirama has a great voice. He sings the love story of Nissan and Madara so powerfully. If he was singing on the street, I'd give him a dime. I swear, recalling the constant battles in the past Uchiha Madara and Hashirama, could it be a prank video? No, it shouldn't be. After all, the sound is exactly the same. On screen next video, the famous scene where Konohamaru and Boruto learn the Rasengan. The screen starts. It was Naruto who returned home after training with Jiraiya for 3 years. I found that the house that I hadn't lived in for 3 years was cleaned spotlessly. What's going on? Beside him, Konohamaru had his hands on his hips. You saw it all. I cleaned this place. Naruto was touched. Konohamaru, you? Konohamaru turned his back, looking expectant but speaking insincerely, pretending to be hypocritical, saying, I'm not doing this to ask you to teach me new ninjutsu. I really don't have any selfish motives at all. After saying that, he looked at Naruto, with stars in his eyes, and anticipation almost written on his face. A drop of sweat fell down Naruto's face, and he couldn't help but laugh. Look at you, you said it all. Okay. I'll take this opportunity to teach you a powerful ninjutsu, Konohamaru said excitedly. Great. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Boruto burst out laughing after the second generation's singing. The sad emotions brought by the light of sunshine were finally diverted by Konohamaru's current appearance. Konohamaru was so cute when he was little. Sarutobi Clan. Sarutobi Hirozen smiled kindly at his adorable grandson who had grown up a lot on screen in the forest. The ninjutsu I am going to teach you next is completely different from ordinary ninjutsu. Konohamaru looked excited when he heard Naruto's words. How powerful is this seduction ninjutsu? Stop talking, teach me now. Fire Nation Muai Village. Sarutobi Clan. What? Seeing his grandson's impatient look, Sarutobi Hirozen didn't react for a moment and thought he had heard it wrong. What? Hyuga Clan. Boruto thought before he and Uncle Sasuke came into this world, he met his father and brother Konohamaru when they were children. Thinking about what happened at that time, Boruto suddenly realized, is this the way Dad and Konohamaru greet each other when they meet? Rain Country. Seeing the strange looks Konan and Pain gave him, Naruto stopped shaking his feet. Somewhere in the ninja world, Jiraiya couldn't help but laugh heartily. Ha ha ha. Konohamaru? This kid is very talented. Ninja world, my friend wants to learn it, too. I'm going to take notes for him. At this time, I envy the Uchiha who has the Sharingan and can copy ninjutsu. Pure Land. The corner of Minato's mouth twitched slightly. Naruto, what on earth did you teach this child before? A well-shaped pattern appeared on Kushina's forehead. I knew it. I knew Naruto would learn bad things from following Jiraiya. On screen, Naruto held up a finger. The first factor is rotation. Konohamaru pictured the sexy blonde twin-eyed Naruto spinning in circles on a pole. His cheeks were slightly red, and he looked excited. Oh, we need to add some action, Naruto said with a serious face. Then, the second factor is power. Konohamaru pictured Naruto's sexy and enchanting figure in his mind, and became even more excited. Use the hot-tempered method to tease, Naruto said loudly. Also, there is a third element, Konohamaru exclaimed exaggeratedly. Wow. Is there a third element? Naruto's voice reached his ears. Must kill. Konohamaru pictured Naruto sticking her butt out in his mind. Konohamaru looked excited. Use the sexiest moves to create killer looks. Pure Landban held his forehead in his hand speechlessly. I can't bear to look at it. Izuna's mouth twitched. Naruto, look at yourself. What have you taught your little brother before? Tobirama. Until now, Tobirama still doesn't want to talk. Fire Nation Muai Village. Sarutobi Hirozen's eyes were red with anger. No, my grandson, this is not just crooked. An image involuntarily popped into his mind. He said to Konohamaru when he grew up, grandson, you are an adult now. It is time to discuss with you the knowledge that adults should understand. Konohamaru patted his chest and said, Grandpa, don't worry. If you have any questions, just ask me. Ninja Worldwide. I feel that Konohamaru has surpassed Naruto in this respect, and the disciple is better than the master. You weren't like this when I watched Sunshine before, Konohamaru. It turns out that you are a sultry person who has been passed down from Kakashi. On screen, Naruto was puzzled. What are you talking about? Konohamaru was stunned. Huh? Isn't it a seduction ninjutsu? No. It's more powerful than that. The ninjutsu I'm going to teach you is of A-level difficulty. As he spoke, Naruto created a shadow clone and asked the clone to help him make a Rasengan. Chakra's rotation, power, and ultimate move have all reached the ultimate and super high-level ninjutsu, Rasengan. After saying that, he pressed the Rasengan in his hand against a tree that was thicker than his waist. Boom! Look at the big hole in the tree. Konohamaru's mouth grew bigger and bigger. Wow, so cool. But I don't understand the principle at all. After hearing what Konohamaru said, Naruto pointed his thumb at himself with confidence. Don't worry. That's why I'm teaching you. And even a fool can learn this trick, really." Konohamaru looked serious. He seemed to have realized something. "Idiot," Naruto said like a good teacher. "The learning of this ninjutsu consists of 3 parts. He pulled out a water balloon first. Practice with this water balloon." Konohamaru's face was serious, and he repeated, "Water balloon, bang, bang, bang." As soon as he finished speaking, the water balloon in Naruto's hand exploded. Konohamaru exclaimed, and quickly asked, "How did you do that?" Naruto said patiently, "Didn't I tell you? Just make it explode with a bang." Naruto said loudly, "I mean bang bang. How simple is that, Konohamaru?" Chapter 344 I really learned it. Somewhere in the ninja world Jiraiya looked doubtful about life. Is this what I taught him from now on? At this moment, he began to doubt his teaching ability. Pure Land Kushina didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Naruto, you idiot, how can you teach people ninjutsu like this?" Minato smiled. He didn't want to laugh at first, but seeing Konohamaru's dumbfounded look on the screen, "I couldn't help it." Fire Nation Muai Village Sarutobi Clan Sarutobi Hirozen's mouth twitched as he said, "Not many ways. You made the A-level learning difficult. Intern S level 1. Hyuga Clan." Boruto looked confused at this point. "Is it not?" Hearing this, several people in the hall suddenly turned their heads to look at him. "Boruto, did you learn this way too?" Boruto scratched his head and said, "That's not the case. Konohamaru is a little more patient than my stupid dad." "But, isn't it just learning the Rasengan? As long as you understand the theories Dad talked about, you should be able to learn it." Hayashi was speechless for a moment. If he can learn the 4th Hokage's Rasengan like this, then what is he if not a genius? On screen, just practice well, Konohamaru. After saying that, Naruto turned around and prepared to leave. Konohamaru was shocked. "You finished teaching me in just 1 sentence? And you're leaving right now?" Naruto said without even turning his head. "I still have to go train with Sakura next." "But," Naruto stopped and said, "don't be too dependent on others, Konohamaru. You can only learn this trick by practicing it yourself. And I believe you can do it." As he said this, he turned around and gave Konohamaru a thumbs up. "Naruto brother," Konohamaru murmured, and after receiving Naruto's approval, he became more motivated. "Okay. Cheer up and train hard. I must master the skill before the next meeting." Let him be surprised. After pumping himself up, Konohamaru picked up a water ball and shouted at it, "Bang! Bang! Twilight, late night bang! Bang!" Pure Land Minato scratched his head and smiled awkwardly. "If it were just like this, it would be hard to learn. Maybe I got some inspiration later." Ninja World PFFT, Konohamaru is so cute. "Naruto-sensei, you're pretending to be so mature. And this teaching method. Even if you tell Minato, he may not be able to learn it. If you teach like this, there's no way Konohamaru can learn the Rasengan. One dares to teach, the other dares to follow." On screen turn. Hey, boom! Several missiles landed in Konoha Village, destroying countless houses. Konohamaru was moving quickly through the streets. "Is anyone there? Is anyone there? Is anyone there?" Just then, a weak voice came into his ears. "Help!" Konohamaru hurriedly stopped and looked around for the source of the sound. "Where are you? Where are you?" Finally, Konohamaru saw a hand sticking out from the ruins. "Are you okay?" He hurried over and pushed the stone that was pressing on the old lady aside. "Cheer up." Konohamaru looked somewhere. "To think that you would do something this outrageous." Screen turn. Konohamaru settled the old lady down. The old lady looked at him and said weakly, "Thank you." Konohamaru comforted him softly. "It's all right now." But then, he heard a scream. Konohamaru ran in that direction without a second thought. Screen turn. Konohamaru encountered hell path pain. Seeing this scene, many people couldn't help but worry for Konohamaru. This pressure is too terrifying. Nagato. This pine looks like someone who is not easy to mess with. Konohamaru is in trouble, let alone a Jonin like Konohamaru. Even a Jonin is no match for Pine. Fire Nation Muai Village Sarutobi Clan Sarutobi Hirozen was so nervous at the moment that he didn't even dare to breathe, and his whole body was tense. As a Jonin, you should just help guide the people to evacuate when the village encounters a crisis. Why are you joining in the fun? On screen, boom! A figure flew high up and slammed heavily into the ruins. Konohamaru cried out in pain. Next moment, boom! Hell Road stepped on Konohamaru's position and blasted Konohamaru away again. Konohamaru's body rolled on the ground for a few times. Seeing Heldo kicking towards him, he hurriedly stood up and dodged, but he was soon cornered by Hell. Jigakudo grabbed his neck and said, "Is Uzumaki Naruto in this village? Answer me." Konohamaru held his arm tightly. "I don't know about this kind of thing." As soon as he said this, he stuck out his tongue. which slowly extended in front of the King of Hell. A tongue with a palm-like shape stretched out from the mouth of the King of Hell and grabbed Konohamaru's tongue. Konohamaru cried out in pain, his eyelids trembling slightly from the pain on his tongue. Haldeo said calmly, "Really? Then I will make a judgment for you." As soon as he finished speaking, Konohamaru in front of him disappeared with a bang. Behind him, with the help of his shadow clone, Konohamaru has successfully condensed the Rasengan in his hand. Rasengan. Haldeo's pupils shrank. Boom! Hell Road was hit by Konohamaru's Rasengan. The Sarutobi clan ninja who bears the name of the village, his surname is Sarutobi, his given name is Konohamaru. Remember this. Rain Country. Tendo Pain's expression froze. We were defeated by Little Shinan Brat. Fire Nation Muai Village. The people's eyes almost popped out. They were all stunned. Even the more stable Jonin looked incredulous. Perhaps it is precisely because they are Jonin that they know how difficult it is to do what Konohamaru did. He really learned the Rasengan? Using the method Naruto taught me. Bang, bang, and you've learned the Rasengan, and he defeated Pain. Do you have to be so outrageous now, little brat? I don't know whether I should be shocked first by the fact that he learned the Rasengan, or by the fact that he defeated Nagato's Pine. Konohamaru, this is incredible, Konohamaru said. Please don't spread rumors. My Rasengan is a ninjutsu that I created myself. Naruto was so bad at cultural studies at that time that he couldn't explain it clearly, but it did give Konohamaru some inspiration. So according to these inspirations, Konohamaru created the Rasengan himself. Sarutobi clan. Sarutobi Hirozen's face was flushed. Did you really learn it? His eldest grandson really brings him face. Hyuga clan. It's so quiet here that you can hear a pin drop. It was Boruto who broke the silence with an excited look on his face. Has Konohamaru ever defeated a powerful enemy at this age? Ninji said that he didn't want to bother with his Versailles nephew anymore. Compared to Konohamaru, he felt that his nephew was even more extraordinary. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 345, Do You Have Such a Bad Taste? On screen the screen starts. Boruto looked at Sasuke and said solemnly, "Please accept me as your disciple. I want to defeat someone, no matter what the cost. Do you know how to use the Rasengan? Well, if you don't know how to do it, you can't be my disciple." Screen turn. In front of Konohamaru's house, Boruto made trumpet shapes with his hands and shouted into the house, "Konohamaru-ni! Konohamaru-ni!" Pure Land Kushina didn't know what she was thinking of, and she couldn't help but burst out laughing. Konohamaru won't teach Boruto bang bang, will he? Boruto also wants to create his own Rasengan. Minato didn't think so. He believed that Konohamaru should be more flexible in his thinking. He is not like Naruto, who has mastered ninjutsu but does not understand the principles of ninjutsu. On screen Konohamaru yawned and came out. Seeing that it was Boruto, he couldn't help but complain. "What's the matter?" Boruto said anxiously. "Please teach me the Rasengan. I must master this move now." Konohamaru was stunned. When it comes to this, he is no longer sleepy. "So you are here to prepare for the Chunin exams and give the 7th generation a surprise, right?" Konohamaru laughed and said, "This is more like a ninja." Boruto turned his head away and scratched his head in embarrassment. Right." Konohamaru was so excited that he burst into tears. "I can actually teach this trick to my students as a teacher, 4th generation, 7th generation. I will complete this important task conscientiously." Screen turn. Early morning. Boruto opened his mouth like a pic interface and looked at the water balloon in his hand with a sad face. Konohamaru held a water balloon and said to Boruto, "Where did your passion go? Come on. Try it again. Look at me carefully, and then you do it." Boruto raised his head and said listlessly, I know. But it doesn't work at all." "Bastard, don't talk to me like that." "No, bastard means this. Bastard means this in my hand." Konohamaru shouted, "Stop calling me a bastard." "Bastard," Boruto also yelled, "Pay attention to yourself too." The two looked at each other unhappily. "Also, why does it have to be a water ball? Isn't there a more efficient way?" After saying that, Boruto angrily threw the water balloon in his hand to the ground. Konohamaru said solemnly, "The 4th Hokage spent 3 years developing this ninjutsu and half a year perfecting it. In terms of learning difficulty, it is A level." As he spoke, the water balloon in Konohamaru's hand twisted, and then burst with a pop. He took out another water balloon and handed it to Boruto. "You can't learn it just by saying it. Go on, Ninja World." Boruto is too impatient. You can tell he's the type who wants to rush everything he does, but he also inherited Naruto's tenacity. No matter how good your talent is, it will take a long time to learn an A-level ninjutsu. I thought I'd hear Boruto yell bang bang. Disappointment, so disappointing. On screen twilight, the water balloon in Boruto's hand changed several shapes and then returned to its original shape. Damn it. Still no improvement, but he soon cheered up again. Go ahead and start practicing. What Boruto didn't see was that Sarada had been secretly watching him in the tree behind him one morning. The water balloon in Boruto's hand burst with a bang, splashing water everywhere. He said excitedly, "Success." Konohamaru was also happy for him. Okay, next stage. As he said this, he took out a rubber ball from his ninja tool bag. Boruto, I don't know how many days and nights passed. A mini Rasengan condensed in Boruto's hand. He cheered, "Success." Konohamaru looked shocked. No, that's impossible, bastard. Ninja World, you've learned it now. It looks like you can just persevere for a few days and then learn this A-rank ninjutsu. Isn't it too small? Although Boruto's speed in learning the Rasengan was so fast that even Konohamaru was shocked. I still feel that Konohamaru is more amazing. Compared to Konohamaru, Boruto is more powerful when using the Rasengan. Even Meru couldn't withstand it. It's a pity for Konohamaru. There is a limit to what a genius can achieve. Unless you have bloodline, Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Sarada has been spying on me? I didn't expect that even she would be shocked. Boruto looked very pleased with himself on screen. Sasuke looked at the mini Rasengan in Boruto's hand. This is too small, damn it. Boruto angrily threw the Rasengan in his hand away. Pure Land Minato. Kushina tilted her head slightly. Throw the Rasengan out. Can Minato's Rasengan be used like this? On screen the Rasengan dissipated into the air after flying a short distance. Boruto was devastated and ran away without waiting for Sasuke to react because his self-confidence was crushed. Sarada came to Sasuke's side. You are always so strict, Dad. Sasuke looked at Boruto's back. I didn't say he didn't pass. I wanted to accept him as a student. As he said this, he looked at the hole on a tree that was made by Boruto's Rasengan. This scene left many people with question marks in their heads. What is this? Mini invisible Rasengan. The Rasengan has been used in a new way. This Rasengan is too weird. It's hard to defend against in battle. If Naruto could do the same, wouldn't he be a killer on the battlefield? After all, he has such a huge amount of chakra. If he goes to the battlefield, he only needs to throw the Rasengan, but it's really small, similar to my 3-year-old son's. Cough. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Boruto covered his chest with his hands, looking heartbroken as if he had missed out on 100 million. So Uncle Sasuke has been planning to take me in as his apprentice for a long time. Then what kind of scientific ninja tools will he develop in the future? Lower right corner of the screen, Qiu Li flipped his fingers downward. The Wujiopo just now was so exciting that he wanted to listen to it again on screen, recalling the constant battles in the past. Uchiha Madara and Hashirama. Pure Land. Tobirama's face turned dark and veins on his forehead throbbed. Again? Host, do you have to be so evil? This is the first duplicate video ever. Tobirama felt like he had a heart attack. Ben's complexion doesn't look good either. Damn you, Tobirama Senju. How dare you make up the friendship between me and your brother like this? But they can't say anything to the anchor. If there were no anchors and live broadcasts, they wouldn't even be able to stay conscious, let alone watch the show, and no future intelligence in advance. They are like this. Not to mention the people in the ninja world and the 5 great nations. By knowing the intelligence about the future, they can respond in advance and change the tragedy they don't want to happen. They are the ones who should be most grateful to the live broadcast. Izuna looked suspicious. Could it be that Big Brother really has a relationship with Senju Hashirama that goes beyond friendship? After watching so many videos and hearing the lyrics of this song, original, it just felt like that, but now, he couldn't help but start to doubt. Chapter 346. The End of the Crane. Ninja World. It sounds really nice. The host really understands me. How did he know I was still reminiscing about that song? I really want to listen to it 100 times. Until I get tired of it. Compared to this kind of spoof video, I still want to watch some videos about the future. At least it can let us know some future intelligence, so that the 5 major ninja villages can respond in advance. Only in this way can I have a little sense of security in this chaotic ninja world. Lower right corner of the screen. After listening to Tobirama's magical adaptation of Wujiopo again, Qiu Li clicked on the blogger's homepage. I found that there are many adapted songs on the blogger's homepage. Then, everyone in the ninja world saw various versions of the song on the screen. The original version of Tobirama Wujiopo, the DJ version of Tobirama Wujiopo, The adapted version of Tobirama Wujiapo, Hoshirama praying to Buddha, as well as Minato's, Obito's, Rin's, Madara's, Naruto's, Sasuke's. At this moment, many people in the ninja world reacted. It turned out to be a prank video. Even the voices are exactly the same. I want to hear Sasuke sing. I want to hear Hashirama's words. I want to hear Obito sing. Please, host. I want to hear Sasuke sing. Pure Land. Tobirama breathed a sigh of relief. The rumor has been debunked as long as people know that the previous song was not composed by him after all. Madara didn't mind, but how could he possibly frame his eldest brother like that? On-screen DJ version adapted by Tobirama Wujiapo. 1 suck of the dried radish. If you step on the hydrangea, you will be compensated 2 yuan. Pinga surrendered. The red-haired warrior. His portrait was carved on the Hokage rock. Ninja World. Different lyrics from before. I love Tobirama's voice. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. I hope this isn't the last time. How can I live without Wujiapo's future? Any version is fine. Tobirama's singing is so catchy. On-screen. Uchiha, you rebelled. The blame is hidden in the palace, forcing the Itachi clan to the front door, separating the brothers to their own side. The moonlight is short, the red night is dark. Later, we were 1 against 7 and squatted on the telephone pole. That night, the mask and the short knife were splashed with blood. Only then did I know that Sas was tortured. Uchiha 1 against 7. It's pitiful that you slaughtered your entire clan. It's pitiful that you were undercover in Akatsuki. You were labeled a traitor, just like you betrayed your parents. Near water country. Itachi, he twitched a corner of his mouth. There's no need to hurt his heart like this. Ninja World. This is a good word. Tobirama sang so well, with both singing technique and emotion. It gave me a feeling that I would cry at any moment if he continued singing. What a talent. The person who wrote the lyrics is simply a genius. Tobirama has defeated Uchiha. His portrait is engraved on the Hokage rock. Fire Nation Muai village. Uchiha clan land. Little Sasuke's face turned pale. Future Sasuke looked solemn. The two looked at each other. I don't think it will be my turn to be teased by someone from another world. Little Sasuke glanced at future Sasuke and said, I never thought that there is still your past self. Future Sasuke denied it flatly and threw the blame back. No. That's your future self. On screen. Sasuke's voice came from the screen. Although she gave me roses, I really didn't sleep with her last night. She took a taxi to send me back to the hotel. When we entered the room, I told her to go back. I didn't enter the room. I said the wrong door. Just an ordinary friend. Really an ordinary friend. I drank too much? Don't be angry, I really didn't sleep. I don't dare to do it anymore. Honey, put down your knife. I really didn't go out to burn. Pure Land. With Sasuke accompanying him in his misery, Tobirama finally felt better. Fire Nation Muai village. Uchiha clan land. Big and small. Sasuke sighed and sank. This disaster, after all, could not be avoided. Hiruno family. The corner of Hiruno Zao's mouth twitched. Sakura's cheeks flushed. Slightly different styles of future husbands. I know next door is about to cry with envy. Hokage building. Fugaku looks strange. This was the first time he had seen Sasuke act so ruffian-like. Live broadcast. Give me back my son who is so cool and expressionless but full of style. Ninja World. Who didn't you sleep with? Karin, did you explain it to Sakura after you got married? Is this an explanation to Naruto? A voice that doesn't feel out of place. Sasuke, like this is simply a trap for Naruto. It's over. This time Naruto has truly become a shinobi. The people from the other world are so amazing. They even imitated the voices exactly. If I hadn't seen so many people singing the song, I would have really thought it was them singing it themselves, not a spoof video. On screen. Next video. The 5 worst characters in Naruto. The screen starts. Naruto formed the seal. A little Naruto appeared, lying on the ground with his tongue sticking out. Rain Country. Akatsuki. Naruto's cheeks turned slightly red, and he said angrily, how can I be so lame in the future? I even learned Brother Scorpion's puppetry technique. Xiaonan said faintly, Scorpion's puppet technique does not require hand seals, but the clone technique does. Naruto's eyes were filled with tears and he looked at Konan with grievance. Aunt Konan, you're going too far. How could I not be able to learn a ninjutsu that requires hand seals? I'm the savior. Xiaonan. Little Naruto, who is only 6 years old, is so cute. Xiaonan feels that she really can't bear this little expression. She said helplessly, okay, the live broadcast is a fabrication of rumors. Naruto, you have always been a genius. Fire Nation Muai village. Uchiha clan land. Future Sasuke breathed a sigh of relief. It finally passed on screen. The second one is Kai. He made seals with his hands and took out a set of clothes. Ninja World. I don't care. Emperor Kai is the eternal god. Emperor Kai is not the last one, right? He is just bad at ninjutsu, but his taijutsu is not weak at all. In my opinion, Emperor Kai should not be considered the last one in the group. We can see it in the Chunin exam. Although Emperor Kai lost to the genius Kakashi, he did learn the 8 gates during that time. It's just that he didn't use it because Kakashi was his companion. On screen the third one is Obito. He separated out a little gray man. Ninja World, it's Obitawa. It makes sense. Grandma said, I think you look like the second six-path sage. Right. On screen the fourth is Jiraiya, the technique of throwing all the shurikens out. The last one is Ashura. He created a very abstract clone. Next moment the video suddenly reversed. The six-path sage is Jinming, the red dragon's Kai, Obito in the six-paths mode, the sage Jiraiya. The giant Buddha statue beating the purple Susanoo. Ninja World with this background music, it's so exciting. Guang, do you like the type that is reserved and flirtatious? I was so excited just now that I accidentally squeezed a little urine into my crotch. Only Emperor Kai and Jiraiya can be considered civilian ninjas. Obito is also very awesome. He can only be regarded as the last one in the Uchiha clan, right? Uchiha's peers should have opened the Sharingan. But the most outrageous thing about him is that he either doesn't open his eyes, or he opens them in a jump. From the moment he opened his eyes, he had double Magatama, and later the double Magatama directly opened the main Gekio. Tisk tisk. Look at the last rank of Konoha, 1 immortal, 1 god, 1 emperor, and 1 shadow. Chapter 347, Conquer Obito? Somewhere in the ninja world Jiraiya had no self-awareness at all, and was still brazenly complaining about himself. I was a genius when I was a kid. How could I be the last one in the class? The water country is not far away. Orochimaru licked his lips. Among the strong ones, there's still that idiot Jiraiya who is at the bottom. Fire Nation Salmer where Tsunade sneered. And the idiot Jiraiya? Yes, that last place guy is really strong. Muai Village Sarutobi Clan Sarutobi Hirozen smiled with relief. This stupid disciple, in the eyes of the aliens, can he be compared with Naruto, Kai and the others? Lower right corner of the screen a message prompt appeared on Qiu Li's phone. Writer Zheng Yi, Qiu Jun, the food is here, you can come out and take a nap. Qiu Li typed quickly with both hands. Arigato, Zheng sang. Writer Zheng Yi, stupid tape. Qiu Jun, Qiu Li got up and prepared to pick up the takeaway. We had hairy crabs today, so it's not suitable to use your hands to scroll through videos on your phone. That being the case, Qiu Li closed the video software, opened the novel software, found a fanfiction that he had added to his bookshelf but had not had time to read, and turned on the audiobook mode. This is the concluding article of the system Invincibility Flow with few words. Somewhere in the land of fire Tsunade couldn't help but get goosebumps all over her body. Another storybook, Rain Country. Konan and Nagato's expressions changed drastically. Pure Land Kushina couldn't help but grind her back teeth. I'm listening to stories again, damn it. On screen story begins. The opening introduction is very cliché. The protagonist was originally a otaku. He was hit and killed by a truck while saving someone, and his soul traveled to the ninja world. Since I'm here, I'll make the best of it. What the hell? It's fine that I've traveled to the Uchiha clan, but why am I still a girl? As the memories rushed into his mind, Uchiha Aoi grabbed his hair in pain. Without even chakra, how can I survive in the dangerous ninja world? By the way, what year is it in Konoha now? I won't see Itachi on the clan's telephone pole as soon as I go out, right? After hearing that the protagonist of this story was a female, the victims in the last novel finally breathed a sigh of relief. Ninja world, even the gender has changed? It's so pitiful for the man. What the protagonist said is right. Even if you are born into a big family like the Uchiha, it is not a good thing, especially if you haven't grown up yet. This time, the protagonist is much more serious than the last one. On screen after receiving all the memories, Uchiha Aoi knew the current timeline. Are you from the same class as Obito? Forget it. Let me take a shower and calm down first. Wait until you calm down and plan your future carefully. Everyone in the ninja world, Pure Land people, you'd better really just want to calm down. For some reason, I'm actually a little envious of this brother. How can there be no video? On screen 5 minutes later, Uchiha Aoi walked out of the bathroom. It can be seen that she really just wants to calm down. There was a ding in my mind. Strategy system is coming. The system's mechanical voice sounded. Binding the target, ding. Strategy target binding successful. Target of capture, Uchiha Obito. Please obtain 100% of Uchiha Obito's affection within 10 years. For every 1% increase in the emotional value, you will get 1 point, which can be exchanged for rewards in the system mall. Mission failed. Destroy the soul. Uchiha Aoi, what's that? Uchiha's mouth twitched, although she had subconsciously found the bug when she heard that she could get points. But, system, did you ask me for my opinion when you bound me? Although my body is a female, and although I like the character of Obito very much, my soul is a male. Go away. I don't need you. Dog system, Ninja World PFFT. Forgive my insincere smile. This isn't that much different from asking a man to capture another man, right? Even though she's a girl, she must feel uncomfortable when capturing her. System wall? What's in there? Does the system want Aoi to replace Rin in Obito's heart? How is this possible, replacing Lin? I just think this story is a joke. Divine Space Obito's face darkened. Thank you for liking my character, but your soul is indeed that of a fucking man. I hope you don't be so ignorant and wait to be wiped out. Fire Nation Muai Village Fugaku pursed his lips. He really wanted to laugh. Sarutobi Clan Sarutobi heroes, and listen with delight. Is this novel about Obito? On screen. Why does the system bind the protagonist and require the protagonist to do such a difficult task? This brings us to the protagonist's previous life experience. There are 8 people in the school dormitory, and he has always played the role of military advisor. The 7 people in the dormitory, plus 3 good brothers in the next dormitory, all found their way into being single thanks to his ideas. He was the only one who remained single until his death. Uchiha Aoi naturally refused to accept her fate. She is a straight man, Uchiha Aoi said firmly. If you want to kill me, just kill me. Go and capture a man. I would never do such a thing. Divine Space. There was a glimmer of relief in Obito's eyes. I hope you can always keep this original intention, Uchiha Aoi. No. You'd better just be wiped out. This way I can save myself some trouble. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan Boruto nodded in agreement. That's right. The soul is a man. How can it possibly capture another man? The protagonist is not the first generation, and the father, Japanese football, Niji, Hinata. Hanabi looked confused. Boruto, what are you talking about? On screen. System, host, please look at the system's Ninja Mall rewards first. Ding. The dazzling array of goods in the Ninja World Mall appeared in front of Uchiha Aoi. Uchiha Aoi couldn't help but exclaimed, Single Magatama Sharingan only 3 points? Double Magatama 5 points, Triple Magatama 10 points, Main Gekio 20 points, Samsara I 50 points. Note, you need to have a Main Gekio first, then exchange for a pair of Main Gekio to upgrade your eyes to the Eternal Eye. Various bloodline limits, ninjutsu, forbidden techniques. Uchiha Aoi was silent after a moment. She asked hesitantly, the emotional value is the kind of emotion between men and women, not the degree of favorability? So my current task is to make Obito have a male-female relationship with me. Yes, host. Divine Space. Obito's expression was uncertain. Ninja World. She is moved. But she can't help it. If she fails to complete the mission in 10 years, her soul will be wiped out. I'm afraid no one can refuse such a reward. If I were the protagonist, I would also seduce Obito. The Rinnegan only has 50 points, counting the 2 pairs of Main Gekio, 90 points. The first 3 Magatama can be opened by myself. The emotional value is the love between men and women, and it will definitely become more difficult as time goes on. If you fail to complete the mission, you will lose even your soul. When it comes to 100%, even if the protagonist is a man, Obito will still face the challenge, right? The protagonist gets a reward, Obito experiences sweet love, and everyone is happy. Although the protagonist's soul is that of a man, the upper limit for conquering one person is only 100. After successfully conquering Obito, the protagonist can still conquer others. If I have 100 points, what should I buy? Chapter 348. Reasonable. On screen. Uchiha Aoi asked, does that mean that as long as he falls in love with me, it doesn't matter if I fall in love with him? Yes, host. Uchiha Aoi seemed to be thinking about something. In other words, I can completely endure the nausea in my heart and try to capture Obito, and then withdraw after I have achieved 100% success. When the time comes, I'll have him create a world where I exist. That would be quite interesting. Anyway, there's no need for me to have that kind of feelings for him. Divine Space. Obito, UTM, didn't you say you like my character? Even though it's not a romantic relationship, it doesn't make sense for you to trick me like this, right? Obito was so angry that his teeth were itching. If that bastard Uchiha Aoi stood in front of him, he would definitely make him regret traveling to the ninja world. Somewhere in the ninja world. Kakashi clasped his hands together. Amitofu. Sorry, Obito, I didn't mean to laugh. I was born with smiling lips, and I usually press the corners of my mouth down. I really didn't want to laugh just now. Parker muttered, this protagonist is a bit sinister. By the way, What just made you laugh, Kakashi? Kakashi said seriously, Parker, I wasn't laughing just now. Parker's eyelids fluttered. Is it the one that asked Obito to create a world where Aoi exists? Puff. Kakashi couldn't hold back. Puck continued, or should we suppress her nausea and go capture Obito? Haha. Ha. Kakashi couldn't hold it in any longer. Parker's eyelids drooped. I don't understand your joke at all. Kakashi suppressed a laugh. I just think it's interesting to let Obito fall in love with a woman who thinks of herself as a man, and then I think of Obito also listening to this story, although this is not very authentic, but, Fire Nation Muai Village Saratobi Hirozen couldn't help laughing either. Stories like this make me, an old man, want to read on. On screen Uchihawi looked at herself in the mirror. I was thinking about how to conquer Obito. Uchihawi whispered to herself, will Obito like someone with a personality very similar to Lin? When Obito was a child, he probably didn't like Rin that much. This body of hers is 6 years old this year, the same age as Obito. But Rin and Obito grew up together and have a very good relationship. She wants to surpass Rin's position in Obito's heart. Then, what if I play the opposite sex Kakashi? Yes. Kakashi of the opposite sex. Wouldn't that Obito be fascinated by him? But this matter needs to be considered carefully. To be on the safe side, I will try to make Obito love me to death before I graduate from the Ninja Academy. Somewhere in the ninja world Kakashi couldn't laugh anymore. This time it was Parker who smiled. Divine space. Obito's face was gloomy, and he gritted his teeth and said, damn it. Who created this crappy story? Ninja world wonderful. Ha. Should we do this? Kakashi of the opposite sex, come on, protagonist. I support you in charming that guy Obito. Pure Land. Madara applauded for the protagonist. Amazing, awesome. As expected of someone who can travel back in time to the Uchiha clan. On screen Uchihawi murmured, although they are the same age as the Uchiha, the original owner of this body is not very familiar to Obito. The original owner also had the pride of the Uchiha. She doesn't like playing with idiots. Divine space. Obito took a deep breath. I have already severed all causes and effects in the world. I will become the second sage of 6 paths. I'm very magnanimous. I'm not angry. Not angry at all. On screen Uchihawi's murmurs continued. Playing as Kakashi is not an option. I remember that Obito disliked Kakashi at first. I can't leave a bad first impression. It's good enough if he has some shadow of Kakashi. I have to take a path that suits me best. Then the first step is to go to the street and meet Obito, who is helping an old lady cross the road. Somewhere in the ninja world. Tsunade nodded slightly. Reasonable. Shizu nodded in agreement. That's indeed a good idea. Tsunade couldn't help but complain. As long as Obito doesn't suddenly snuggle in her arms like a little bird and be called brother by her, I think any development of the plot is reasonable. Silent. On screen the next day. How cruel can a person be to himself in order to get rewards from the system? All the streets of Konoha village. The moment she saw Obito, Uchiha Aoi used a small stone in front of her to twist her foot severely. With her ankle pressed on the stone, Uchiha Aoi gasped in pain, tears streaming down her face. Uncontrollable. Fuck you. I'm your daddy. Ninja world, you're too hard on yourself. To achieve the goal, use any means necessary. Hiss, it hurts just thinking about it. Uchiha Aoi, you are such a man. I give you a thumbs up. On screen, seeing someone around him trying to help him, Uchiha Aoi glanced at the other person with a distant look, showing great resistance. I don't need your help. I can walk by myself. Seeing her aloof look, several villagers around stopped in their tracks. As for the other party's attitude, as for the Uchiha, they are used to it. Even if it was just a little ghost, they wouldn't be surprised for her ungrateful behavior. Uchiha Aoi could only say sorry silently in her heart. Obito, who was looking for his target, also noticed that something seemed to be unusual here and hurried over. As soon as he arrived, he saw Uchiha Aoi struggling to get up. Hey, you look familiar. You are. What's your name? Obito scratched the back of his head. Ninja world, it's very Obito that you can't even remember the names of your peers in the clan. Although this guy is a bit sinister, he also knows how to apologize in his heart. Haha. The protagonist's portrayal of Uchiha is pretty convincing. I don't know what Obito himself would think of this novel, but I listened to it with great interest. On screen Uchiha Aoi wiped her tears and snorted. You even forgot the names of your own people. After saying that, she just stood up but lost her balance and fell to the ground again. Seeing this, Obito hurried forward to help, but was stopped by Uchiha Aoi. Stop. I can get up by myself. I don't need you. Obito's outstretched hand suddenly became numb. But your ankle is so swollen. Is it really okay? I'm fine. It's none of your business. Uchiha Aoi struggled to stand up, but fell down again. Obito was a little mad seeing her like this. Okay. If it's because I don't remember your name, Then I apologize. Sorry. But you have to go to the hospital right now, your foot is seriously injured. Ninja World. The protagonist is so scheming. This tribe member who is in trouble refuses to accept other people's kindness. How could the young Obito be willing to leave her alone on the street? On screen Uchiha looked at her ankle, with a conflicted look on her face. Even Obito could see the other party's dilemma, and for a moment he didn't know whether he should be tough and take the man to the hospital. After a moment of silence, Uchiha looked at Obito with her wet eyes. The next moment, a cool and very pleasant voice reached Obito's ears. Then I'll trouble you, Obito, brother. Rain Country Biwa Juzang, who is always able to accurately find interjections during live broadcasts, felt a tingling sensation on his scalp. He was so shocked that he lost his voice. Oh thanks. Damn. Holy shit. Is this something Obito could withstand when he was a kid? Chapter 349 7 Points Human. Divine Space. The corner of Obito's mouth twitched violently thinking about this guy's soul is a big man. He rubbed the goosebumps on his arms vigorously. You guy, you're awesome. If this happened when he was a child and heard his peers in the clan calling him brother, I'm afraid I'll be so excited that I want to fly to heaven, just because she called me brother. Even if I met her by chance somewhere in the future, I would definitely be very enthusiastic towards her as a child. And maybe even go to play with her often in the future somewhere in the ninja world. Kakashi's eyes almost popped out of his head. I go, stop talking about him. Even Parker at his feet looked shocked. You humans are so scheming. Fire Nation. Salma Tsunade clapped her hands and laughed. Ho ha ho ha. Interesting. This protagonist is so interesting. Muai Village Saratobi Clan. Saratobi Hirozen spat out a mouthful of tea. Hyuga Clan. Boruto gasped. You play it so hard. Are you sure that little Obito wouldn't be so excited that he would cry? Pure Land. You've got Obito under such tight control right from the start. Madara gave his precious recognition. Uchiha, you, our character. On screen after hearing what Uchiha said, Obito's head buzzed and his eyes widened slightly. His body froze on the spot and he looked in disbelief at Uchiha, who was sitting on the ground and looking at him with her big, watery eyes. You just called me brother? There was a strong sense of disbelief in his voice. He had never heard anyone call him brother. What's more, they are from my own clan. This was something he had never dared to think about before. Uchiha thought for a moment and said, if you don't want to, I can just call you my brother, Obito. He was startled and said quickly, of course I am willing. Uchiha's words calmed him down a lot. Only then did he remember the important matter. Obito bared his teeth, smiled and patted his chest. Let's go. Brother Obito will take you to the hospital. Manual dividing line. In the afternoon Obito and Uchiha, who is on crutches, left the hospital. The two of them walked towards the Uchiha clan's territory together. Uchiha said, thank you so much today, brother Obito. I will remember this kindness and I will definitely repay you. The tone was very bland, not like thanks, and the voice wasn't that sweet, but Obito felt very happy in his heart. It's okay. This is what I should do. No need to repay. Owie, sister Divine Space. Obito rolled his eyes and complained speechlessly, that's too exaggerated. Did they portray me as too stupid? Isn't it just that someone calls him, okay? Obito recalled his childhood self and fell into deep thought. In short, he would definitely not be that stupid. On screen Uchiha walked awkwardly with a cane. I also bought some vegetables during this period on the way home. She nearly fell several times, so even when they arrived at the clan territory, Obito was still worried and insisted on sending her home. Uchiha didn't refuse either. During this time, Obito opened his mouth and finally asked, Aoi, why are you unwilling to accept other people's kindness? Uchiha lowered her eyes slightly and pursed her lips into a straight line. If I had experienced warmth, I would be afraid that I would no longer be able to endure darkness, and I would be even more afraid that I would not be able to suppress my greedy heart and want more light. Obito didn't understand, but I'm too embarrassed to ask again. I had to pretend to agree and nodded. Oh, so that's how it is. Uchiha Divine Space. Obito couldn't help but curl his lips. Nonsense. I didn't understand at that time, so how could I pretend to understand when I didn't? After all, this is just Uchiha Obito in the eyes of the story author, not the real me. In reality, I am not as stupid as in the story, and I will not allow anyone else to take Lin's place in my heart. Ninja World. What a strong-willed Obito his whole life. This character who loves to show off is very Obito. The evil protagonist left me speechless. Haha, what Aoi said is too profound. It shouldn't be said by a 6-year-old child. Although she said it was nothing in front of Obito, if she continues to be so careless, isn't she afraid of exposing her mature personality like an adult? Aoi was a person with a story in her previous life, Somewhere in the ninja world a certain white Zetsu pretended to think, to put it simply, after I ate the cake, I could no longer swallow feces. Is that what you mean? How sad. My life is all about shit, but you let me eat cake once. How can I eat shit that I have to eat for the rest of my life? Hearing what these two white Zetsu said, the white Zetsu around couldn't help but lower their heads, looking a little depressed. It's so sad. My heart hurts, even though I have no heart. On screen when they arrived at the door of the house, Uchiha took the food from Obito and said, "Thank you for today. I said I would repay you. In this case, come to my house tomorrow night and I will treat you to a meal." I said I don't need to repay you. I'm not doing this for your repayment, okay? It's settled. I don't like to owe favors to others. Don't worry, my cooking is not bad. After saying that, without giving Obito a chance to refuse, Uchiha closed the door. As soon as the door was closed, Uchiha's face distorted and she took a breath. It was too sloppy and too twisted. Then she skillfully walked to the sofa with her crutches and sat down. Open the system panel. Obito's emotional value is still 0. Nothing was beyond Uchiha's expectations. As long as Obito has a little affection for her, it means that in Obito's subconscious mind, she is different from other friends of the opposite sex. But because of Lin, she couldn't achieve her goal without using some tricks. This matter cannot be rushed. The safest way is to build a very solid foundation first. Only in this way, after having a little emotional value, the relationship will improve rapidly. Uchiha was just an ordinary person in his previous life, so he naturally dreamed of becoming a big boss who could fly, do anything, and be respected by others. Although I feel a little sorry for Obito, but, no matter what, after having his own butterfly wings, Obito's fate will always be better than the original. However, Uchiha was a little surprised at her extremely natural acting today. Thinking of this, she came to the mirror and put on her cool look today. Well, 30% Kakashi, 70% human. She looks very groovy, like a mature lady. It's not impossible that she will be a beautiful young woman after marriage, a beautiful woman after having children. She will be an elegant old lady when she gets old. Divine Space. Obito nodded slightly. I agree with the first sentence. Then he added, but that's only the first sentence. Somewhere in the ninja world Kakashi's head is full of black lines. What do you mean by 30% Kakashi and 70% human? Does the part that looks like me make me less human? Chapter 350 Sour. Ninja World. Damn it. In our great ninja world, who do all these beauties end up marrying? Why have I never met one? Isn't she thinking too far ahead? How old is she now? If I had a girlfriend like this, I would be willing to have the strength of future Naruto. Tisk. Hearing this makes me want to take the risk. 2. Kachangfu is too deep. You can't control it. Let your brother travel into your body and bear everything for you. Fire Nation Muai Village. By the way, although this is a story, is there really someone like Aoi in the Uchiha clan? I feel like I could see it with my own eyes. I also want to see what the protagonist looks like. She will definitely be very beautiful. I'm so envious. Obito is so lucky to be conquered by such a beauty. Although this guy has someone in his heart, his feelings for Rin are also shocking. On screen, as a former man, Uchiha's aesthetic is definitely in line with the public, so just dress according to your own preferences. Thinking, Uchiha tied her hair into a high ponytail and walked towards the kitchen. She prepared to process the ingredients first. The first things to be taken out are the essential ingredients for the end of the world. This enoki mushroom will be made into garlic paste tomorrow, or I'll eat the imported ones today, and let Obito try the exported ones tomorrow. She was really curious whether enoki mushrooms could be recycled as rumored. System, Divine Space. Obito. He looked in disbelief. I kindly helped you go to the hospital, went shopping with you, and accompanied you home. At this point, even the rustic man's breathing became heavier, and the anger in his chest had nowhere to be released. Finally, he roared, you look like a decent person, and you said you wanted to repay me, but you actually want to let me eat your shit. The look in his eyes at this moment was as if he had a life and death feud with someone somewhere in the ninja world. Tisk. Kakashi rubbed his nose and stared blankly. This guy's heart is too dark. If I cut it open, I'm afraid the ink will overflow. The dog at his feet was still a little confused and patted Kakashi's big toe with its front paw. What do you mean? Kakashi squatted down and explained it in detail. Parker's eyes widened with shock. Excreted enoki mushrooms? You humans, oh no. Are the hearts of people in the other worlds so dirty? Unexpectedly, Kakashi shook his head in disapproval and said, no. You are wrong, Parker. What bad intentions could Aoi have? She just wants to know whether the enoki mushrooms can be recycled. Parker looked up at Kakashi. I missed you, Kakashi. You have a dirty heart, but I'm curious about Obito's reaction right now. Kakashi couldn't help but laugh. If there really was someone like Aoi back then, it would have been very interesting. On screen the next afternoon, Aoi brought dishes to the table one by one. I hope Obito will come. I made too much today, and she couldn't finish it all by herself. If Obito didn't come, she would have to eat leftovers tomorrow. Time passes slowly. At last the sound of knocking on the door reached Aoi's ears. Along with it was Obito's loud voice. Sorry, Aoi. I'm late. Divine space. Obito looked nostalgic. I haven't said this for many years since Lin's death. He has never been late again. Ninja World, a familiar taste. It's right, it is undoubtedly Obito himself. Let's eat Enoki mushrooms. Obito, on screen faced with a second pair of dead eyes in his life, Obito explained with an embarrassed look on his face. After I said goodbye to Lin, I was ambushed by an old lady on the way back. After sending the old lady carrying the bamboo basket home, I went home and told her that I would not be home for dinner tonight. That's why I came so late. Aoi, who had received compulsory education, couldn't say anything about this. Even if she encountered this situation, she would help. I just heated up the food. You came just in time. Obito apologized again very politely, but when he saw the food on the table, he exclaimed, "Wow! It's so rich. It looks delicious." Dinner table. Obito stared at the sweet and sour spare ribs in front of him, drooling madly. It was as if the whole world in his eyes was left with only this table of delicious food. It smells so good. Aoi said, "Eat, I've been hungry waiting for you." Hey, sorry. Obito clasped his hands together. Then I'll start. After saying that, he couldn't wait to pick up a piece of sweet and sour spare ribs. The fried sweet and sour spare ribs look crispy, tender and juicy on the outside. The first bite was that the pork ribs were crispy on the outside and tender on the inside, leaving a lingering fragrance on the lips and teeth. The sweet and sour taste of the sweet and sour spare ribs filled Obito's mouth and conquered his taste buds in an instant. Fire Nation Muai Village. Sarutobi Hirozen held the teacup and took a leisurely sip. Glancing at the leftovers on the table, he couldn't help but smile. There is a sense of gloating. Is there anyone who hasn't had dinner yet? Then wouldn't you be drooling over the descriptions of the delicious food on the screen? Hyuga Clan. Boruto touched his stomach and couldn't help complaining. Really? I had already eaten a lot last night, but after hearing these descriptions, I'm hungry again. I really want to eat that fried chicken with spicy sauce. Somewhere in the Ninja World, White Zetsu gathering Placia. Certain by Zetsu said with a sour tone, although I don't need to eat. After hearing this description, I'm really greedy. Wow. I don't have a stomach, but I feel so hungry. That fried chicken steak is sour. It's not tasty. It's definitely not tasty at all. Yes. It's not tasty. It's all sour. And the sweet and sour pork slices must be super unpalatable. It's sour. Obito only ate it because he didn't want to disappoint Aoi. A certain White Zetsu, who was crying out of greed, looked jealous recalling Obito's wrinkled face. A mouthful of sweet and sour brings back Grandma's face. You speak very nicely, but Grandma Obito in the story is still alive. Who cares? The other White Zetsu pondered for a moment before continuing. 2 sips of aftertaste. The wronged souls of the tribe members returned to their place. Oh, you two talk so nicely. After 3 mouthfuls, life ends. The 4 of us savored the food carefully and placed offerings in front of the grave. The 5 of us ascended to heaven, no longer lingering on the earthly world. It's so delicious. After a few bites, the body is still alive. I really like this place. Divine space. Obito sneezed. Who's thinking about me? Could it be Kakashi? As soon as he finished speaking, he sneezed again. Obito's expression changed. You think so? End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.